Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Hokage. I am no longer a human being, steal the forbidden arts and spread the ninja world. Chapter 61. Bing Liang pills, but there should be a lot of things added to enhance the taste, as well as the aroma. Do the flowers smell good? Yugong Qinshan loves food, so he can smell a lot of things by moving his nose. And this Bing Liang pill is made perfectly. According to my personal feeling, it should be delicious. Can I eat it? It should be okay. After all, it's all made of grain. Don't tell me, it does smell pretty good. Smelling the aroma of Bing Liang pills, Yugong Qinshan felt like eating them. But he was afraid that there was something wrong with this bag of military food pills, so he held back. Kushina, on the other hand, had already run to Namikaze Minato holding the Horyaoan she had made. Here, these are the military food pills I made especially for you. 3 medicinal herbs are added to it, which greatly improves the effect of Bing Liang pills. Hope you like it. Minato Namikaze watched as Kushina's cheeks flushed and she handed a pink packaging bag to him. The corners of his mouth turned up slightly. Happy, Kushina gave her a gift. Very happy. Of course I like it. This is what you want. Are they special military food pills? Let me take a look. When it comes to the happiest time in this world, it is when you receive gifts from your loved ones. At this time, Namikaze Minato had this kind of mentality. He was so happy that he opened the bag immediately. Exquisite black pills are neatly placed inside the bag. Hey, good job, Kushina. I remember you've never made Bing Liang one before, right? Kushina nodded, and then looked at Yi Kang with gratitude. Sister Yi Kang taught me this. It took me several days to make it. Because this is my first time making it, the taste may not be very good, but the effect is definitely very good. By the way, let me tell you, Sister Yi Kang also made a bag. It's just for Moonlight Qinshan. Yi Kang, who was originally watching the show, didn't expect Kushina to directly include her in the show, which made her blush a bit. Kushina, stop talking nonsense. Who said you were going to give it to that fool? Hehe, Sister Yi Kang, stop pretending. You were serious when you made the Bing Liang pills, and you even put a lot of the sweetness that Yugong Qinshan likes into them. Did you think I didn't see it? Yi Kang blushed instantly, and Yugong Qinshan in the room was also stunned. What sweets does he like to eat? I didn't expect Yi Kang to remember his favorite foods. Because of Yugong Qinshan's previous life, he was not very interested in the food of his childhood, so he often cooked and ate by himself. But he only really loves sweets. Ah, does Yi Kang like Qinshan? Isn't this what is called no acquaintance without fighting? No, love develops over time. No, hatred turns into love. Minato Namikaze's eyes lit up when he heard 8 trigrams. Moonlight Qinshan. I know right away that this fool is not as honest as he appears. How can someone who can learn from Jiraiya be a normal person? I don't know if 8 trigrams sounds so good, so Minato Namikaze grabbed a pill and threw it into his mouth. He ate it while listening to 8 trigrams with his ears raised. He also thought to himself, it's a pity that there are no stools, otherwise I would sit and eat while listening to 8 trigrams, wow, that would feel great. But why does this Bing Liang pill taste so strong? Forget it, who cares, this is made by Kushina herself. Is it bitter? It's not bitter at all, it's just sweet. Don't talk nonsense, I didn't, I made it just to teach Kushina. It's just filled with my favorite sweetness. I got it for myself to eat. Yi Kang had never been so embarrassed and was a little incoherent for a while. But Yugong Qinshan heard it clearly, and when he looked at Yi Kang's appearance, he almost laughed out loud. Silently he picked up the black bag, took out a soldier's grain pill and threw it into his mouth. Well, it tastes good. I want to eat too. Qinshan, give me one. No, this is what someone made for me to eat. How can you bear to rob it? I will get you more worms to eat later, but you can't rob it from me this time. Yugong Qinshan is in a good mood, and the mood is wonderful. This Bing Liang pill is good and delicious. There is no bitter taste at all, but it does have a sweet taste, which is good. It suits his appetite. Yugong Qinshan, who was originally worried that there was something fishy about the Bing Liang pills, was relieved. After all, the blushing Yi Kang is so beautiful, and the trembling back is even more. Ha, take another one. It's so sweet. It doesn't taste bitter at all, unlike Minato's generation. It's all medicinal and bitter. And the next second, He went crazy, completely crazy. Pull it down quickly, Sister Yi Kang. If you want to eat it yourself, do you need to put 1 kilogram of medicinal materials in it? Do you think I'm stupid? Bang! Suddenly, the sound of heavy objects falling to the ground sounded from inside the house. The 3 people's eyes instantly looked towards the house. I saw a black bag falling to the ground, and the fragrant Bingliang pills inside were scattered everywhere. Isn't that the Bingliang pill you made, Sister Yi Kang? Why did it fall on the ground? I didn't touch it just now. Kushina was a little confused, let alone her, the other 2 were also very confused. The next second, they knew why. I saw the Moonlight Chinchin suddenly appeared, and quickly ran to Yi Kang, grabbing Yi Kang's arms with trembling hands. He asked with a trembling voice, Yi Kang, tell me, the Bingliang pills you made didn't contain medicinal ingredients. Right, everyone also realized why Yugong Chinchin was at home and turned on the translucent escape. Especially Yi Kang. Yugong Chinchin is now face to face with her, and she can smell the fragrance in each other's mouth, which is the taste of the Bingliang pills she made. Yi Kang, speak quickly, tell me, you didn't put any medicinal materials in it, right? You just said that you ate it yourself, and you definitely didn't put any medicinal ingredients in it, right? Yugong Chinchin felt that his whole body was soaked, and sweat was flowing out desperately. Moonlight Chinchin, you fool, why are you at home? Also, did you eat the military food pills I made? Who told you to eat them? Yes, what's wrong with what I eat? Can't I put medicinal ingredients in it if I eat it myself? Let me tell you, I put in 1 caddy. The drugstore owner said that 1 caddy is the most suitable. Yi Kang was a little confused by Yugong Chinchin. She was already embarrassed and suddenly burst out, squirting directly at Yugong Chinchin. I'm telling you, me, hey, Moonlight Chinchin, why are you crying? Hey, how old are you? Why are you still crying? I made it for you. In order to cover up the bitter taste of the medicinal materials, I specially put in a lot of your favorite sweets. That's okay. Yugong Chinchin cried, crying hard. It directly numbed Hager's claws, leaving Kushina and Namikaze Minato dumbfounded. The case has been solved. Why does Bingliang pill have no medicinal smell at all? Yugong Chinchin was all out of breath from crying. He didn't understand why he was such a cautious person, why he was obviously an audience member, and would end up eating it himself. At this moment, a notification sound suddenly sounded in his head. Ding! It was discovered that the host was hiding his identity and poisoned Uchiha Fugaku with laxatives, causing Uchiha Fugaku to have unbearable diarrhea. He has been treated in the hospital and received the reward of Perfect Improper Person. Special reward, Tailed Beast Transformation Proficiency plus 3.0. Note: you can try it after reaching 100. Use Tailed Beast Jade. The rewards are so rich. But the situation is scary. That fool Fugaku went directly to the hospital. Do these 3 herbs have such a great effect when combined together? It's over. It's over. Yugong Chinchin cried even more brilliantly when she heard the notification sound. Moonlight Chinchin, please stop crying. What's wrong? Is there anything wrong with the Bingliang one I made? Yi Kang had never seen a grown man cry like this and was a little panicked for a moment. Kushina and Minato Namikaze looked at each other and happily ate melons and watched the show, especially Minato, the food pills were so delicious. Yugong Chinchin opened his mouth several times, but no words came out. He felt so miserable that he couldn't speak. At this moment, a shout suddenly sounded from outside the house. Kushina, are you there? Sister Yi Kang, are you there? Something's wrong. Don't eat that medicinal material. It's not a tonic, it's a laxative. Brother Fugaku has been hospitalized. Uchiha Makoto's anxious voice sounded outside the door. Namikaze Minato, who was just throwing the Hyorio pill into his mouth, suddenly trembled. He turned back and looked out the door with a look of disbelief on his face. Yi Kang and Kushina also followed the sound. Uchiha Makoto, who was sweating profusely from running, was shouting into the house while running. Laxative. Namikaze Minato swallowed the pills in his mouth with a gulp, tasting the bitter taste of the medicine. His face instantly turned pale, and he unconsciously looked at the pink bag in his hand. Then he looked at Moonlight Chinchin, who was crying even brighter, and he suddenly realized. Moonlight Chinchin, you fool, Was it your trap? Why did Yugong Chinshin react so badly after taking Bingliang pills? Why was Fugaku hospitalized after taking the medicine? All these things indicate that this matter is inseparable from Moonlight Chinshin. Yi Kang and Kushina also reacted and quickly looked at Moonlight Chinshin. Yugong Chinshin, who was being watched by the three people, stopped crying. There was no point crying now. The Bingliang pills had been taken and it was too late to say anything. Moonlight Chinshin, are you the boss? I just said that I always felt like something was wrong that day. Yi Kang suddenly remembered all the things that were wrong with her boss on the day she bought the medicine, and now she finally realized it. Then he looked angrily at the young man in front of him with tears on his face. Ah, fool, Moonlight Chinshin, you actually asked me to buy laxatives to make military grain pills. Minato, are you okay? Kushina's hair was so angry that it floated up, but the next second he ran to Namikaze Minato and looked at him with concern. Minato was speechless. Looking at the half-eaten bag of military food pills in his hand, he felt that he might lose everything. Kushina, Sister Yi Kang. Have they both eaten already? Uchiha Makoto panted heavily, looking at the uncomfortable atmosphere in the yard, and asked quickly. Kushina and Hagura glared fiercely at Moonlight Chinshin at the same time. Looking at Yugong Chinshin, he was trembling all over. It wasn't because he was scared, but because the medicine was taking effect. The same is true for Namikaze Minato. Chinshin, where is your toilet? Namikaze Minato's face turned extremely pale, and he ran towards the house trembling. Ding, I noticed that the host was hiding his identity, and poisoned Minato Namikaze with laxatives, causing Minato Namikaze to suffer from unbearable diarrhea. At the same time, he made a fool of himself in front of his beloved, and received the reward of being a perfect person, a special reward, Tailed Beast Transformation Proficiency plus 3.0. Note, after reaching 100, you can try to use Tailed Beast Jade. Listening to the system prompts and feeling the cramping pain in her stomach, Yugong Chinshin smiled uglier than crying. Trembling, he ran towards his toilet. Sanmei, you look at me, I look at you, and finally they all looked towards Moonlight Chinshin. Moonlight Chinshin, you fool. Konoha Hospital. The original hospital was owned by Konoha when it was founded, but it lacked medical experience and medical personnel. Later, after Tsunade's excellent medical treatment ninjutsu and some advanced medical concepts and systems were gradually improved. It has also undergone a series of medical reforms and invested resources in establishing various medical classes and medical groups. There is even a drug research and development department, etc. After 10 years of development, Konoha Hospital has become one of the most important institutions in Konoha Village. Today, Konoha Hospital welcomed 3 patients with the same illness. This made the doctor who visited the hospital couldn't help but sigh. These days, there are people who take laxatives in groups. In the ward, 3 hospital beds are arranged from left to right. The window is on the left, and the door is on the right, lying in order, Uchiha Fugaku, Moonlight Thousand Mountains, and Namikaze Minato. Standing next to them were Uchiha Makoto, Hayakura, and Uzumaki Kushina. There was also a doctor and a nurse. Hemp seeds, cypress seeds, and almonds are all laxatives, but they can be mixed together to make military pills. What are you thinking? Which quack doctor gave you this prescription? Everyone in the room looked at Yugong Chinshin, and he was so embarrassed that he almost took away a villa with his feet. Okay, I'll take a total of 15 vials to slowly remove the remaining medicinal properties from your body. This quack is really terrible. If you take less of one of these 3 medicines, you will lose 10 bottles. The efficacy of the medicine cannot be explained by 1 + 1 = 2. The fusion of the 3 medicinal properties increases the power of the laxative by at least 10 times. After finishing speaking, the doctor looked at the 6 people in the room as if they were fools, then sighed and left. When the doctor left, several roars suddenly echoed through the sky. When I am discharged from the hospital, I will sharpen my knife and chop you to death. Uchiha Fugaku from Sharingan. Chinshin, how much hatred and hatred. You actually drugged me, came from the pale-faced Namikaze Minato. Moonlight Chinshin, when you get better, you've been waiting for me. If I don't send you to the hospital again, I'll call you Paprika. Uzumaki Kushina looked at Minato with a distressed expression. HMPH. Brother Fugaku, I'll help you sharpen your knife when you're discharged from the hospital. Uchiha Makoto was furious. Hey, when I saw you, I really realized that I am a human being. No, you can no longer be called a human being. Yi Kang looked helpless. Moonlight Chinchin. One wrong move resulted in the entire game being lost. Chome. This drama is very good, ha 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 ha. Chinchin boy, let's do it again next time. Ding. Because host's inappropriate poisoning behavior deeply stimulated 5 people, which made the system feel very gratified. At the same time, for the sake of host's sacrifice of himself and the implementation of his beliefs, a special reward was issued, Tailed Beast Transformation Proficiency plus 30. Note: after reaching 100, you can try to use Tailed Beast Jade. Yugong Chinchin was lying on the hospital bed, feeling the murderous aura faintly emanating from both sides. He was so shocked that he didn't dare to move. I could only open my own panel silently. Moonlight Thousand Mountains. Age: 15. Konoha Village, Moonlight Clan Jonin, Jinchuriki, 7 Tails. Blood Succession Limit. Transparent Escape Perfect Mastery. Ninjutsu. Multiple Shadow Clone Jutsu, 8 Gates Armor, Flying Thunder God Jutsu, Fire Style Ninjutsu Great Fireball, Phoenix Sage Fire Earth Style Ninjutsu Earth Style Wall, Hard Beheading Technique. Wind Release Technique Body Protection, Great Breakthrough, Wind Cut. Latent Snake Hand. Tailed Beast. Chome, Affinity 100%, Tailed Beast Transformation Progress, 90%. Note: when the Tailed Beast Transformation Progress reaches 100%, you can use the Tailed Beast Jade directly. Strength: 55. Speed: 70. Chakra: 70. Physique: 77. Ninjutsu: 80. Physical Skills: 50. Genjutsu: 55. Seal, 58. Ding, reminder, the panel is set according to the Book of Fighters, the ratio is roughly 1:10. The only gain is that the Tailed Beast Transformation Progress has reached 90%. It can be said that now he can directly transform into the Tailed Beast into 7 tails and maintain his sanity. Belongs to the absolutely perfect Jinchuriki. The rewards are great, but the price is too high. Look at Fugaku on the left, who is just about to draw his sword, and Minato on the right, who is pale and staring at him. Alas, it is bitter. Chome, how long will it take for my body to recover? I don't ask for anything more thorough, just let me move. I just can't stay any longer. Moonlight Chinchin begged his good brother. I hope he can help me get out of trouble. Well, there is a way. After all, I am also 7 tails. It's just that this method may not be suitable for you, and it may have sequelae. Although Chome enjoyed watching this scene, his little brother also joined in. In order to see more big scenes in the future, he had to help his brother no matter what. Don't worry about the sequelae, as long as you can get out of here quickly, no matter what. Yugong Chinchin had risked his life, and now he couldn't move, otherwise he would have activated the Flying Thunder God and flew away. Even if he is lying in the woods, it is better than lying between these 2 people. Phosphorus powder, you know. Use phosphorus powder to paralyze your whole body and reduce the damage caused by the medicinal materials to you, and then seize the short time to fly out with the Flying Thunder God. Did you know about Tailed Beast Transformation? Yugong Chinchin was shocked when he heard Chome's words. That's right, why did he forget about the Tailed Beast Transformation? As long as he enters the Tailed Beast Transformation, with the super strong chakra rising, the medicinal properties in the body will definitely be evaporated immediately. Okay, Chome, this is a good idea. Quick, my chakra can't be mobilized at all. I'll lend you your chakra and use phosphorus powder to help me. Chome paused slightly when he heard Yugong Chinchin's excited tone. Chinchin, you have to know that although you are my Jinchuriki now, Tailed Beast Transformation is a process. If you don't control yourself the first time you transform into a tailed beast, we may be imprisoned by Konoha by then. I have just escaped from the Sea of Suffering, and I don't want to enter the Sea of Suffering again. Hey, what do you think Moonlight Chinchin is worried about? He is now a person who has mastered 90% of the tailed beast transformations, and it's just a tailed beast transformation once. The worst case scenario is that instead of transforming into a perfect form, it would be enough to simply turn on the half-tailed beast transformation. He just wanted to drive the medicinal properties out of the body as quickly as possible, and now it seemed that victory was in sight. Don't worry, Chome, Just use phosphorus powder boldly and leave it to me to transform into a tailed beast. This relationship and coordination between us is just a tailed beast, so please be at ease. Just give me the powder and leave the rest to me. Chomei felt Yugong Qinshan's confidence. Although he didn't understand where his little brother got his confidence, but with the 100% affinity bonus there, he still chose to believe in Yugong Qinshan. Okay, Qinshan, pay attention to your health. Once you feel numbness coming on, activate the Flying Thunder God immediately, and I will let the phosphorus powder pour into your body little by little, otherwise I'm afraid you will go into shock. This phosphorus powder is not the one condensed by Moonlight Qinshan, but comes from the phosphorus powder in Chomei's body. Much more powerful. Just as soon as it entered the body, Yugong Qinshan felt that his tongue was numb. Ah, 2 idiots, I'm leaving. Ah, bye. Uchiha Fugaku and Namikaze Minato looked at Gekko Chizun with his mouth wide open and shouted randomly. Suddenly there were black lines all over his forehead. Are you mute? What a fart. That's it, can't you speak? Ah, what? The two of them became angry instantly. If they weren't holding the bottle, they would have punched each other. But the next second, the two of them were dumbfounded. Because Yugong Qinshan disappeared, the bottle disappeared with it. Disappeared? No, did you use a technique to leave? Flying Thunder God, how is it possible? I feel like the chakra in my body cannot be mobilized at all. How did he do it? Fugaku was stunned and Minato was dumbfounded. Since taking the bottle, the chakra in their bodies has been locked, and they cannot use it at all, let alone use ninjutsu. And this guy Gekko Chizun actually activated ninjutsu and flew away. What the hell is going on? Activating the Flying Thunder God technique, Moonlight Qinshan flew directly towards the farthest coordinate. As soon as the Flying Thunder God was fired, he came directly to the Forest of Death. This forest is so dark. Where is this place? Is there a place like this in Konoha? Chomei was shocked when he saw the scene in front of him change from a bright ward to a dark forest. The main reason is that the change in light and darkness is too obvious. As soon as Yugong Qinshan opened his mouth, he realized that due to paralysis, his tongue and mouth were no longer his own, and drool was flowing down the corners of his mouth. He was so angry that he could only shout from his heart, Chomei. Don't worry about where this is, hurry up and prepare to transform into a tailed beast. This forest is not safe. I don't want to be blinded by a bear. Mr. Chomei, hurry up, there is a bear. At this moment, Yugong Qinshan appeared in front of a huge creature with brown-gray fur, standing 3 meters tall. This special meow is a bear. This is not the key, the most important thing is that the bear drooled looking at him. Tailed beast transformation. Tailed beast transformation. Chomei, hurry up. Yugong Qinshan rushed to the seal without even thinking, and opened the seal's door with one stroke. The chakra belonging to 7 Tails Chomei instantly began to surge. What happens when you encounter a hungry bear deep in the forest? It's getting eaten. Now Yugong Qinshan is facing this dilemma. This drooling brown bear has already rushed towards him. Chomei, don't rush. It'll be ready soon. Chomei was also anxious. He could see the bear's open mouth. If he didn't hurry up, he might lose his good brother. Chomei went crazy thinking about never seeing a big show again. Chakra rushed into Yugong Qinshan's body desperately. Ho, dinner is ready. The brown bear almost laughed out loud, opened its huge mouth and bit the prey in front of him. But the next second, an arm filled with red energy pressed on his chest. Caught up. Qinshan, half-tailed beast. You must hold on. Don't be stimulated by my chakra and lose yourself. Chomei's voice was full of seriousness. He was really afraid of losing himself in Moonlight Qinshan. That would be all over. It feels so good. Is this your chakra, Chomei? It's so cool. I feel like I can have 1000 Kakashi now. Moonlight Qinshan's body is filled with tailed beast chakra, and these chakras surround him, forming a tailed beast chakra coat. Continue. It's absolutely no problem to transform into a half-tailed beast or something. Hearing Moonlight Qinshan's heroic voice, Chomei was slightly relieved, and then continued to increase the flow of chakra. The held-down bear suddenly felt that the prey in front of him, was no longer prey. Rather, it is a terrifying creature full of death threats. He was afraid, and the huge bear's body began to tremble slightly. Chomei, watch out, it's just a half-tailed beast. I've got it at my fingertips. At this moment, Yugong Qinshan finally understood the terror of the tailed beast. The amount of chakra alone had made him completely crazy. The skin begins to break apart, and where the skin disappears, red skin full of energy is revealed. Under the fearful gaze of the brown bear, his prey transformed from a human form into a red monster. Roar! With a roar, this monster changed again. A tail, 2 tails, 3 tails, 4 tails. Thousands of mountains have passed. The first half-tailed beast transformation, 4 tails are almost ready. Chomei looked at Moonlight Qinshan and began to scream excitedly. He was afraid that the boy would lose his mind, so he quickly stopped the flow of chakra. The 4-tailed chakra is scary enough. Kai! A wisp of black smoke rose from the brown bear's head. It was the high temperature of Yugong Qinshan's tailed beast that ignited the hair on the brown bear's head. Ouch! The brown bear howled in pain instantly. The next second he found himself rising into the air and flying out at extremely fast speeds. You want to eat me? In the next life. Roar! Roared again. Moonlight Qinshan is so excited and has a plug-in. He is not afraid that he will lose his mind after transforming into a tailed beast. Perfect Jinchuriki is not a joke. As long as the tailed beast transformation progress bar reaches 100%, he can even try the tailed beast Jade in half-tailed beast transformation mode. Qinshan, it's almost done, the medicinal properties in your body have been eliminated. Hurry up and release the half-tailed beast, it's still in the village. It will be discovered soon. Chomei was extremely nervous at this time, for fear of being discovered and locked up again. He hadn't seen enough of the drama. I know, it's over now. Of course Yugong Qinshan knew that he was still in the village, and he didn't dare to play too much immediately. The chakra link with Chomei can only be silently disconnected. The original crimson chakra coat dissipated, and the Moonlight Thousand Mountains reappeared in the Forest of Death. The area around where he originally stood has become an open space. TCH, the damage is a bit big. Run away quickly. If we are discovered, we will be dead. Moonlight Qianzan, who transformed into a tailed beast for the first time, still couldn't suppress the excitement brought by the surge of chakra. It caused a lot of damage to the surrounding environment. But with the activation of tailed beast transformation, all the medicinal properties in his body have disappeared, and his physical condition is also very good. The flying thunder god activated, and the scene in front of him changed again. The huge village came into view. Yes, he had arrived on the Hokage rock face. Chomei, I don't think we can stay in the village anymore, otherwise those guys will definitely chase me and kill me. Where do you think we should hide? Moonlight Qinshan sat cross-legged, thinking about where to go to have more leisure time, otherwise Fugaku and Minato would definitely settle accounts with him when they were discharged from the hospital. Not to mention Kushina and Makoto. Hey, I remember the old man from third generation seemed to have said that Jinchuriki from Iwagakure village entered the country of grass. 5 Tails Kokuo, right, Chomei, do you think we should go to the country of grass? The corners of Yugong Qinshan's mouth turned up again. Whenever he showed this smile, it meant that he had bad intentions again. Kokuo, that guy with the horns is fine. Anyway, if I can't beat you, you can still run away. Hey, with this smile, do you have any ideas? Chomei now knows Moonlight Qinshan's character very well. If this kid doesn't smile, it will prove that he is going to do something bad. I can't say I can't. Let's go to my teacher to borrow something first, if we succeed. Maybe we can get Kokuo and Son Goku to fight, hehehehe. Upon hearing this, Chomei became interested. He now loves to watch theater. When he thought of Kokuo and Son Goku fighting, why did he want to watch it so much? Just as he said, Gekko Chizan activated the Flying Thunder God technique again and came directly to Orochimaru's residence. Teacher, are you there? Teacher, it's not good to walk at any time, why are you going out at this time? Looking at the closed door, Yugong Qinshan suddenly felt unhappy. Why does he want to be Orochimaru's disciple? Isn't it just to get his pile of good things? This man suddenly went out, what's the matter? Putting his hand on the door, Yugong Qinshan closed his eyes and used chakra to explore, and then he stormed off again. Holy crap, there are so many restrictions. Is this to prevent thieves or to prevent me? Chiao, we agreed that master and apprentice would do research together. Haitui, it's all a lie. Angrily, Yugong Qinshan turned around and left. What could he do if he didn't leave? He just felt that the defense limit was no less than 50. God knows how afraid Orochimaru is that when he leaves the village, his laboratory will be visited by his beloved disciple Gekko Chizun. Orochimaru. Ha ha ha. 50. You want less. This is just a restriction on the outside of the house. If you go inside, the restriction is no less than 200. Chinchin boy, will your plan be ruined if your teacher is not here? No, I still want to watch the show. Then what can I do? I remember he made a hallucinogenic drug. If he gave it to Jinchuriki from Five Tails, and then used the Flying Thunder God to send him to Iwagakure village, tisk tisk, it would definitely be a disaster. Big drama. Where's the medicine? You go find it. Where am I going to find it? Didn't you see how many restrictions this guy Orochimaru put in place to guard me? I don't want to be crippled without even entering the door, and based on my understanding of him, if I force my way and go, his laboratory is definitely in self-destruction. Moonlight Chinchin was furious. He was the one who mentioned the self-destruction device in Orochimaru's laboratory. At that time, he said jokingly, "Teacher, this is top secret. If anyone sees it, we might both be sent to the execution ground. You'd better make preparations to prevent leakage. If something happens, run away. The road is easier." At that time, Orochimaru nodded fiercely and praised him as a good apprentice who only cares about his teacher. Now it seems that he really owes it. Hey, forget it, if there is no medicine, there will be no medicine. Let's go hide in the country of grass and see if we can give the Iwagakure ninja some trouble. It's better if the headquarters stays in the village and could be hacked to death at any time. Now that the target was confirmed, Moonlight Chinchin flew directly to the Hokage building without hesitation. "Sir Hokage, Moonlight Chinchin is looking for something." Enter. Knocking on the door of Hokage's office, Moonlight Chinchin looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen in front of him with a smile on his face. "How come you, a little devil, have time to find me? Or are you finally ready to start fulfilling Anbu's duties?" Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the scroll in his hand with a smile. "Look what you said, of course I will carry out the mission as Anbu. No, I have this consciousness now and plan to go to the country of grass to investigate the trends of Iwagakure village for our Konoha." Seeing Gekko Chinchin applying for this task with a serious look on his face, this shocked Hiruzen Sarutobi. Originally, in his mind, Moonlight Chinchin was the most suitable to perform this task. He had been thinking about how to convince this lazy kid, but he didn't expect that this kid actually took the initiative to apply. It seems that it was a great idea to let Orochimaru take over Moonlight Chinchin in the first place. How long did it take to change this fool's temperament? For a time, Sarutobi Hiruzen fell into full self-admiration. "Master Hokage, please say something. As long as you speak, I will immediately leave for Iwagakure village. Aren't you just a Jinchuriki? It's not like we haven't seen him before. I'll tell you exactly what size kuchazi he wears." Seeing Moonlight Chinchin's full realization, Sarutobi Hiruzen was even more satisfied, and he slapped the table happily. "Okay, Chinchin, it's good that you have this awareness. It seems that you have completely inherited the will of fire. Then this task will be left to you. Just tell me if you need any props. I personally fully support you." Now in the eyes of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Gekko Chizun is no longer the fool brat who reported him for peeping, he is his disciple. He is still a disciple who is getting better and better. Not bad, worth cultivating. "Okay, I don't need anything, just give me some money. I think this mission will definitely not be completed for a while. I have to eat in the country of grass. As you know, I have a younger brother in the Ebi family. I can't control their money. It's not that he has no money, it's just that all his money is in Ebi Samina. After all, Moonlight Hayate needs help from others to carry it. Now that the laxative incident has happened, he doesn't dare to go back and ask for money. He is afraid that what he has done has already happened to Yi Kang. Tell Ebi Sami about Ebi Sami's attitude towards Hagura and Kushina. He was afraid that he would be beaten out as soon as he entered the door. It's easy to tell. How much does it cost? Is 50,000 taels enough? This money belongs to me, take it. In a good mood, Sarutobi Hiruzen took out a wad of money directly from the drawer. Yugong Chinchin had quick eyes and quick hands. He picked up the money and stuffed it into his pocket. "Then I'll go. Hokage-sama, wait until I return with good news. The next second, he activated the Flying Thunder God technique and left the Hokage office. Seeing the Moonlight Chinshin leaving, Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed happily and stopped working. He directly took out the crystal ball and activated the telescope technique. Ha ha ha, I'm really in a good mood, and my vision has become clearer. Hiss, ha, so white. Ha 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 ha. As the old saying goes, a person who is too old to die is a thief. What kind of thief? A perverted thief. The Kingdom of Grass is located between the Kingdom of Wind, the Kingdom of Earth and the Kingdom of Fire, and its geographical environment is as bad as Rain Shinobi Village. Rain Shinobi Village was only able to gain a foothold among the three kingdoms because of Sancho Hanzo in the front and powerful ninjas like Pain in the back. There are not many powerful ninjas in the grass-hidden village of the country of grass, and the survival of this country relies on shameful information trafficking. It relies on transferring intelligence between the three countries of fire, earth and wind, using information in exchange for survival opportunities. This also allowed Iwagakure to enter the country of grass and settle in it without any hindrance. After all, how could the country of grass let go of such a big fish? Moonlight Chinshin had already left the country of fire and entered the country of grass. He put away his Konoha forehead protector. After all, there were spies from Iwagakure village everywhere in the country of grass, so he still needed to be careful. Chome, can you feel the aura of five tails? No, Kokuo has the most peaceful aura among all our tailed beasts, without any attributes. Her strength comes from her body and strength. In a pure competition of strength, Kokuo is even stronger than the stinky fox. Coupled with her boil style that can evaporate chakra in exchange for strength, believe me, you won't want him to give it to you. With your small body, it is absolutely impossible. It will fall apart. Yugong Chinshin was extremely speechless. Is that his small body? In the eyes of you tailed beasts, which human being is not small? There are some things that are not right, such as third generation and fourth rankage. They are existences that can defend eight tails, non-human beings. Then we can only look for it slowly. The country of grass is not big anyway, so just treat it as a tourist. The purpose of going out this time was mainly to avoid the crisis from the village, and secondly to obtain information. Yugong Chinshin was not such a positive person. He completely regarded this trip to the country of grass as a pleasure. As for the information, it depends on the situation and we will talk about it when we encounter it. As everyone knows, just when Yugong Chinshin entered the kingdom of grass with the mentality of trying five tails. His teacher is doing the same thing as him, but his target is much more powerful than him, eight tails of Union Village. At this time, Yunlei Gorge was in chaos, and the red-eyed eight tails was running rampant. A female ninja in the distance was looking at the scene in front of her with a smile. Tailed beast, Jinchuriki, hee. Just like Chinshin-kun said, Jinchuriki who cannot control the tailed beast have nothing to fear. It can be manipulated into applause with a little effort. However, Mr. Chinshin, you were wrong in saying that the tailed beast is not controllable, but if we use the cells of the tailed beast to create, the created replica will be completely controllable. This person is none other than Orochimaru who entered Kumogakure village in disguise. And the eight tails running rampant in front of him is his masterpiece. The ninjas led by third rankage are suppressing the rampaging eight tails. The intensity of the battle makes Orochimaru secretly amazed. Only when you have controllable power in your own hands can you be successful. Chinshin-kun, just wait, maybe we can also have the power of the tailed beast. Of course Yugong Chinshin, who is far away in the country of grass, does not know what is happening in Union Village. He is currently in a gambling house. Feel the passionate gambling of the people around you. Buy and leave. Following the dealer's order, everyone quickly placed their bets. Chinshin boy, what are we doing here? There's no point in yelling. Gecko Chinshin ignored Chome's voice and walked to the croupier, squatted down, and took out the fake money that had been prepared using the transformation technique from his pocket. In the blink of an eye, a wave of replacements has been completed. Done. What's the biggest advantage of being transparent? Isn't it that others can't find it? It's hard to start in your own ninja village, that's because they are all your own people. The country of grass is about to become a battlefield. Why should we keep money? We might as well contribute. After finishing the money, Yugong Chinshin ran to a tree in the distance and started counting the money. It's so boring. Chinchin boy, why are you so interested in this piece of paper? Chomei looked at the moonlit mountains and counted money in boredom. Chomei, you don't understand, these are not pieces of paper, they are money. If you want to live, you can't live without this thing. Yes, 400,000 taels is enough to survive for a while. Of course, taking the money is not just for fun, it's all for the attributes. He is ready to collect the attributes. As soon as the people in the gambling house find that their money turns into leaves, the attributes will be received. Although it may not contribute many attributes, no matter how small the fly is, it is still meat. It has been a week since he came to the country of grass. He has seen a lot of ninjas in Iwagakure village, but he has not seen Jinchuriki. The temporary base of Iwagakure village was not found either. But he was not in a hurry and looked for it while playing. He had already spent the 50,000 taels given by Sarutobi Hiruzen. In order to have money to spend, and to eliminate evil and promote good, he directly targeted various gambling houses in the Kingdom of Grass. No, I received 400,000 yuan in my first sale, which is great. Huh, what is that? Suddenly Yugong Chinchin felt a vibration in the distance, and then a wisp of white smoke appeared in the sky. Chizan, that's it, that's Kokuo's boil style. Quick, Kokuo's Jinchuriki must be over there. Huh, no, why don't you move? Move, Chinchin. Chomei's voice was a little excited, urging Moonlight Chinchin to hurry up. TCH, Chomei, can you be more fake? You urged me to come over because you wanted to watch a show, right? Chomei didn't feel anything was wrong at all when his thoughts were pointed out. He was too bored. It would be great if he could watch a show. Okay, let's go. After all, the mission is to investigate this Jinchuriki. Let me see how this Jinchuriki is doing. In the distant forest, a small-scale battle had just ended. Five Tails Jinchuriki Han grabbed a ninja by the neck with one hand and lifted him high. HMPH, why are Kumogakure's ninjas coming to the country of grass? Aren't you making small moves in the kingdom of Tang? What, do you want to come to the kingdom of grass to get a share of the pie? The Kumogakure ninja who had his neck pinched was about to speak when he heard. Crack, under the influence of the huge force, Han directly crushed the neck of the Kumogakure ninja. Speak faster in the next life. I have a short temper. Throwing the body aside casually, Han took a deep breath and suppressed the throbbing in his heart. It seems like he doesn't have as much power over the tailed beasts as he said. Everyone, step up patrols in the country of grass. If you find the ninjas of Hidden Cloud Village, shoot them without mercy. With an order, the surrounding Iwagakure ninjas dispersed instantly. This scene happened to be seen by Yugong Chinchin who had just arrived. My dear, you are so powerful. I seem to see Tsunade-sama. As we all know, Tsunade's strange strength is unparalleled in the world, but currently, it seems that she is not invincible, at least the strength of the person in front of her can compete with Tsunade. Really or not, someone can actually compete with Kokuo in strength. Chinchin boy, are you kidding me? Why am I confused about this? I'm from the Senju clan, what do you think? When Chomei heard about the Senju clan, he immediately stopped talking. Back then, 9 of them were completely beaten by a human. That person is called Senju Hashirama. He still remembers that guy made a wooden man, grabbed his tail and threw him like a kite. No, I can't recall it, it brings tears to my eyes when I think about it. Moonlight Senzen, on the other hand, was carefully observing the Jinchuriki in front of him. Han, the elite ninja of Yenian village, has unfathomable strength and is definitely a strong man. At this time, the Jinchuriki in front of him was in a very unstable state, and there might be a chance to mess with him. Looking at the armor Han was wearing, he smiled evilly. Chomei, look at the armor on his body. Huh, what's so good about armor? It's so ugly with all the circles. Look carefully, didn't you find anything? Look carefully, let me see. There are holes. Yugong Chinchin smiled, very brightly. Chomei didn't understand it at first, but after all, he had been influenced by the Moonlight Chinchin for a period of time, and his insect brain became easy to use. Looking at the holes in the armor, he realized. Ah ha ha ha, Chinchin, you are really bad. How about phosphorus powder? I promised to block all those vents for him. Yugong Chinchin nodded heavily. It's not enough to block it. Chomei, Does your phosphorus powder have any hallucinogenic effect? I don't know anything about genjutsu, so I have to rely on you. Letting Jinchuriki use genjutsu is the most direct way to awaken the tailed beast in him. If it is a perfect Jinchuriki, genjutsu can be resolved with the help of tailed beast chakra. But if it is not a perfect Jinchuriki, once it enters genjutsu, it will directly face the risk of the tailed beast going berserk. I have to say that it's not like a family doesn't come into the same house. Gekko Senzen's ideas completely coincide with Orochimaru's. How about the two of them become masters and apprentices? Hallucinogenic? Probably not. Although my phosphorus powder has many effects, it does not cause mental harm. Yugong Chinshin nodded. It is impossible to have something perfect. No matter how strong the phosphorus powder is, it has its limitations, so he doesn't care. Then we can only change the method, forcefully stimulate him and let him enter the tailed beast transformation. Originally, Moonlight Chinshin also planned to use hallucinogenic drugs, but now it seems that it has to change its approach. I think so. Look at his condition. He's so excited after finishing Boyle style. If we block his armor and let him explode, he might go berserk in anger. I have to say that Yugong Chinshin's observation and thinking are still very sharp. Directly targeting the armor worn by Han. But Chinshin, are you sure you can get close to him and do tricks without being discovered by him? Yugong Chinshin shook his head. No one might be sure about this kind of thing. After all, he is an elite Jonin or a Jinchuriki. But for Yugong Chinshin, the more he pulls out his teeth, the more excited he becomes. At this time, he was already a little eager to try. No rush, let's follow him first and see where their camp is. After all, he still has a mission and cannot be exposed easily. Moreover, the opponent has just fought once and is very vigilant, so he will not get into trouble. Playing the long game to catch big fish is the way to go. At the same time, Konoha village, he actually ran away. Third generation Sama must be confused by him. He actually allowed him to go on a mission to the country of grass. Kushina had already gone berserk outside the Hokage building. Beside her, Yi Kang was rubbing his forehead feebly. Because of Gekko Senzen's sudden departure from the village, his caretaker was changed from Gekko Senzen to Hataki Tsukumo. Now she really has to report to ninja school. Kushina, don't worry, I have already applied to Mr. Hokage. Fugaku and I will go to the country of grass to capture Chinshin. At the same time, we will complete the task. Right, Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku's gloomy face was full of murderous intent, and the murderous intention coming out of his body was about to solidify. Under this situation, not even Namikaze Minato dared to approach him. Only Uchiha Makoto can speak. Brother Fugaku, come on. Catch that fool. Then give it a good beating. Hearing Makoto's words, Fugaku nodded heavily. Then walked towards the village gate. Sister Yi Kang, Kushina is in your hands these days. I'm leaving too. Fugaku, let's go. Let's set off together. Unexpectedly, as soon as Namikaze Minato walked to Fugaku, he was greeted by a pair of murderous eyes. No, it was Sharingan. Stay away from me, otherwise I'm afraid I won't be able to help but chop you. Before I clean up Moonlight Chinshin, you are still suspicious. Namikaze Minato. It's all the fault of that fool Chinshin. Yugong Chinshin, who had been following Han silently, suddenly felt that his nose was itchy, and he quickly suppressed the urge to sneeze. But in his heart, he was thinking about which fool was scolding him. When he saw the temporary camp in Yenian village, he was completely stunned. No wonder he couldn't find where these rocks were hiding. He is so inhuman. What appeared in front of Moonlight Chinshin was actually a hot spring house. Hot spring hotel. Why didn't he notice it? When Han walked into the soup house, the person in charge of the soup house immediately stood up to greet him. Master Han, you are back. Well, prepare a room for me, I need to take a rest. Han's voice is very rough, which makes people feel a strong will. Little did he know that his every move was seen by Yugong Chinshin. Chome, how much phosphorus powder do you think it would take to plug those holes? It's hard to say. I think it should be a few kilograms. It doesn't matter. I will help you refine it when the time comes. You can get as much as you want. The thought of plotting against Five Tails Kokuo makes Chome very motivated. But that's not the key. There's still an opportunity missing. If he can't defeat the enemy, he won't take action. You're right, but how to find an opponent for him? He has to have some strength. Chomei and Gecko Chizun were both lost in thought. This is indeed a problem. If there are no enemies, this guy will definitely use Boyle style, and then everything he does will be in vain. It's okay. Since there are ninjas from Cloud Hidden Village entering the country of grass, they won't be alone. At most, we will just have to wait for 2 more days. It's just a good time to collect intelligence these days to see how many bases like this they have. This wait lasted 2 days. Of course Yugong Qinshan would not just wait in the tree stupidly. He had already prepared the Flying Thunder God technique, and would fly away to rest for a while. He placed a total of more than a dozen coordinates in the country of grass, some next to the hotel and some next to the hotel. They were all very hidden and fully sufficient for his use. And this Five Tails Jinchuriki doesn't know if he can't suppress Five Tails anymore. After entering the soup house, he has been practicing in the room. He didn't even take off his armor. Looking at Moonlight Qinshan was very depressing. He doubted that the strong man in front of him didn't need to go to the toilet. Qinshan, is there a possibility? I mean, it is possible. Is he asleep? Chomei suddenly expressed his opinion. Yugong Qinshan was stunned for a moment. Did he fall asleep? He slept for 2 days at a time. Wait, fell asleep. You also saw that the seal and connection between him and Kokuo are very unstable. Use sleep to repair the connection, right? It seems to make sense. He also fell asleep when he first married Chomei. After all, if the tailed beast's huge chakra becomes active, it cannot be suppressed in a short time. Wasn't he waiting in vain? Chomei, why didn't you inform me earlier? Well, you didn't even ask me. One person, one tailman just stared at each other in their inner world. Co. Go and test it out. Moonlight Qinshan felt completely stupid, thinking, Fugaku and Minato must have scared him, otherwise how could he make such a stupid mistake? Turning on translucency, Yugong Qinshan touched it directly. As he gently opened the door to a crack, he found that this Jinchuriki really didn't respond. He really fell asleep. 2 days were wasted. Chomei, prepare the phosphorus powder. Strike first to gain the upper hand. No matter when he fights, arrange it for him first. Yugong Qinshan looked at the sleeping man and decided to take action. Okay, then I'll start. By the way, Qinshan, what kind of phosphorus powder should you use for him? It's paralyzing. The thicker the better. Once the paralysis takes effect, he will definitely not be able to suppress Kokuo. Chomei and Gecko Chizun both laughed at the end. Kokuo, prepare to receive excitement from the sky. Approaching Han, Moonlight Qinshan discovered that the facts were exactly as Chomei said. Han's body exudes uneasy chakra fluctuations, and his breath is full of ferocity. It is obviously not a human chakra. That is the chakra belonging to Five Tails Kokuo. But the man in front of him actually used his willpower to suppress Kokuo's chakra. I have to say that he is actually a bit tough. Anyway, if it were him, Yugong Qinshan, he wouldn't be able to do it. Chomei, make the phosphorus powder lighter so you don't wake him up. Chomei nodded and began to condense the phosphorus powder, but this time a larger chakra was used to compress the concentration of the phosphorus powder. He ensured that once the phosphorus powder touched a person, he would enter a state of general anesthesia in minutes. Then Yugong Qinshan actually took out a handful of cotton from his pocket. Qinshan, why is there still cotton in your bag? Shouldn't there be a ninja tool inside? Yugong Qinshan smiled slightly, and of course he would not say that he was specially prepared for the Han in front of him. Otherwise, why would he get so many coordinates of the Flying Thunder God? Isn't it just for the convenience of purchasing? Saturate cotton with phosphorus powder and plug his holes. Make sure he blows himself up when he unleashes Boyle style. Only in this way can we have a chance to make Kokuo go berserk. In order to make Kokuo go berserk, Moonlight Qinshan planned every detail. I saw thousands of mountains of moonlight turning on, and they quietly stuffed the cotton covered with phosphorus powder into the holes. After a while, most of Han's armor was stuffed with cotton. The other half is not that Moonlight Qinshan doesn't want to be blocked, it's just that this fool actually sleeps against the wall and can't reach the back. How to do this? Just when he was at his wit's end, there was a sudden sound outside the door. Master Han, there's a situation. The sudden sound startled Yugong Chinshin, and he immediately retreated. I saw the man's body moving slowly, and turned sideways. Just when Yugong Chinshin thought that the strong man was about to wake up. Unexpectedly, he actually snored. Ha, ha. Moonlight Chinshin suddenly felt several crows flying above his head. Don't show a speechless expression. When you became Jinchuriki, you slept more soundly than he did. Chomei made a timely stab, and Chomei's hearty laughter immediately lingered in Yugong Chinshin's mind. Okay, stop laughing and keep going. This opportunity must not be missed before it comes back. Kill him in one go. Holding his breath and calming down, Yugong Chinshin's hands were very steady, and he blocked all the holes on the back of the Han armor at once. Then a flying thunder god jutsu left the room. Hey, you're done. However, the person outside the door just now said there was something going on, so I'm a little curious. Is it possible that another ninja from another village has entered the land of grass? Yugong Chinshin is a little curious. After all, he can come to inform Jinchuriki. The person who comes should have certain strength and is likely to be Kumogakure's follow-up force. But this time Yugong Chinshin guessed wrong. It was not Kumogakure's ninjas who entered the country of grass this time. But they from Konoha came straight to him. Outside the country of grass, Uchiha Fugaku and Minato Namikaze were walking on the road in disguise. Fugaku, why do you think the country of grass is so quiet now? Didn't I say that Iwagakure sent Jinchuriki here? Namikaze Minato looked at the situation around him with some curiosity. After all, he was entering another country, so he had to be careful. HMPH, whoever is in Yenian village, we have two missions when we come here this time. One is to capture that fool from Yugong Chinshin, and the other is to find out the information about Yenian village. By the way, you have the same Grandmaster Flying Thunder God technique as him. Have you noticed his technique around you? Minato shook his head. Although we are both Grandmasters of Flying Thunder God, our techniques are different. Unless he uses Flying Thunder God next to me, I can detect the fluctuations in space. Otherwise, I will not be able to find his location. Fugaku nodded. Since he couldn't find anyone with the help of magic, he could only explore the country of grass little by little. Yugong Chinshin. When we catch him, we must make him look good. As everyone knows, the two of them have been discovered by the Iwagakure ninja since they entered the country of grass. In order to find out who came to the country of grass, Yugong Chinshin went to the outside of the soup house to inquire about information. What should I do? Master Han hasn't woken up yet. What can we do? I have already ordered people to send the information to Lord Purple. It is estimated that Lord Purple will arrive in the country of grass in less than 2 days. Hey, this is the only way. After all, they are Konoha's ninjas. Although they are disguised, we who are responsible for patrol saw them coming from the land of fire. The ninja of Konoha. In this period, who could it be? Yugong Chinshin's mind began to race at high speed. One face after another flashed through his mind, but he couldn't tell who it was. But he was confused. He and Hiruzen Sarutobi had already volunteered to come to the country of grass to obtain information. Who else could make Hiruzen Sarutobi agree to enter the country of grass at this time? Worried about him? Impossible. The old man from third generation was laughing like crazy at that time. It was obvious that he was the first choice for this mission. If so, who else? With doubts, Moonlight Chinshin returned to the previously hidden place again. He felt that the situation in the country of grass was getting more and more complicated. Another day passed like this, and Han finally woke up. The first thing he did when he woke up was to eat. It must be said that this man was tall and had a really big appetite. Watching him eat just showed Yugong Chinshin that he was hungry. In desperation, he could only activate the Flying Thunder God technique, run to the restaurant to fill his stomach, and then fly back to continue observing. Master Han, while you are sleeping, there are 2 ninjas from the land of fire. We think they are ninjas from Konoha. When Han heard the news, he immediately put down the bowls and chopsticks in his hands and asked very unhappily. Then why didn't you wake me up? Yes, we called you one by one, but you couldn't hear us when you were asleep. I don't know if he has been in contact with Han for a long time and is well aware of Han's bad temper. The first time this man heard Han's question, he was so talkative that he finished his sentence in 1 second. Han was stunned for a moment, and then his tone softened, Is that so? It's my fault. Then how did you deal with it? The man who reported it immediately breathed a sigh of relief, and then said quickly, we contacted Mr. Z. After all, you said before that if anything is uncertain, report it to Mr. Z. I guess Lord Z is on his way here now. Han nodded with satisfaction. Yes, you did a good job. Brother wiped his sweat secretly. Is that okay? I don't want to be carried back to the village. My mouth is exhausted. I have to speak quickly, otherwise I will be ravaged by someone who is impatient and has a bad temper. Konoha, sooner or later we will be attacked by Iwagakure. Hearing this, Yugong Chinchin's lips curled up unconsciously. Four Tails Lao Z is coming. Isn't this perfect? If you want to stop the rampaging Five Tails, Four Tails must take action. This drama is getting more and more interesting. In the direction from the Kingdom of Grass to the Kingdom of Earth, a figure was heading towards the Kingdom of Grass at an extremely fast speed. This person has a resolute face, red beard and hair, and wears a forehead protector that looks like a mountain peak. The pattern on it is clearly Iwagakure. It was Lao Z who came from this village to the country of grass to target the Konoha ninjas. At the same time, he is also the first Jinchuriki of Iwagakure village, Four Tails Jinchuriki, known as Lava-style Lao Z. However, after entering the country of grass, this Jinchuriki looked completely different. Hey, if you are just launching a war against Konoha, why do you want to bring the country of grass with you? Onoki is a bit unscrupulous. Lao Z gallops on the battlefield and gets his name from the battlefield. He is an upright man. Even on the battlefield, he disdains conspiracy and tricks. He advocates defeating his opponents head-on. But now, under the command of Tsuchikage, the village is occupying the Kingdom of Grass and wants to use the Kingdom of Grass as a springboard to launch a war against the Kingdom of Fire. This approach seems very unnecessary to Lao Z. The country of grass is originally a neutral country, so why do we have to drag them into it? There is also Kumogakure. I heard that Kumogakure is actively recruiting ninjas from the Yuno country. This is really bad. Snort. With dissatisfaction, Lao Z speeded up again. Han, who is also a Jinchuriki, also started to take action. He wants to go directly to catch the little mouse that sneaked into the leaf village. Now all ninjas entering the country of grass must be killed. Tsuchikage-sama's plan must not be affected. The next second Han started to move, Moonlight Chinchin also moved. Having activated his escape, he just touched behind the people in Yenian village. Seeing the ninjas of Iwagakure village joining the team one after another, even Moonlight Chinchin had to sigh. This country of grass is really full of Iwagakure ninjas. After a while, the team that originally consisted of only 2 people had grown to 15 people. Chome, tell me there are so many people. Wouldn't it look good if he exploded in front of a group of boys? It goes without saying that we need to bring in more people. This number is not enough. It would be better to bring in 50 people. When Kokuo goes berserk, the aesthetics of violence will come into play. 2 imbecile men plotted against each other. But the other party didn't know anything about it, and the number of people in the team was still rising. After acting for a while, Yugong Chinchin's pupils shrank instantly as he looked into the distance. Why are these 2 idiots cured of their illness? What the hell, why did you come to the country of grass to investigate the enemy's situation? These 2 fools are here to catch me. What did Moonlight Chinchin see through the insect eyes? The dark-faced Uchiha Fugaku and the carefree-looking Minato Namikaze. One black and one white, the 2 people were walking on the road of the Kingdom of Grass as if they were black and white. It was obvious that they came to the Kingdom of Grass to lock up his life in the moonlight and thousands of mountains. Ah ha ha ha, Chinchin, people are chasing you all the way to the country of grass, do you think you can still run away? If it doesn't work, just go back and get beaten twice. As long as I'm here, I'll protect you from death. Chome instantly turned into a melon-eating crowd, smiling happily. This scene of chasing the murderer thousands of miles away is quite interesting. Chome, I realize that you are really bad now. Do you want me to get beaten? Okay, you're great. Let me calculate, if I get a beating, you will be hungry for a month, and I will have to block your vision. Want to see a show? Go ahead and dream. The melon seeds instantly fell all over the ground, and Chome was stuck in it instantly. Don't. I, Chome, am an honest man. As a brother, how can I watch you get beaten? Don't worry, I will give you wings when the time comes, so you can fly like crazy. I promise to help you escape. Darling, his only pleasure now is eating and watching movies. If this is cut off for him, his life will be dark. No, we must not let this happen. Snort. With a cold snort, Yugong Qinshan focused his attention on the murderous duo in the distance again. I have to say that he was relieved to see these two people. Originally, he was worried that the person coming was not strong enough to force Han to show his strength, but now it seemed that his worries were completely unnecessary. Although Fugaku and Minato have not yet reached their peak growth. But with Uchiha's Sharingan and Minato's Flying Thunder God, this ninja of Iwagakure village is simply not enough. After all, these two people represent the pinnacle of youth power in Konoha village. Chome, be prepared. If it's the two of them, the countdown to Kokuo's rampage may have begun. Chome nodded excitedly. Those were Uchiha and Namikaze Minato. He doesn't understand the former, but the latter is a genius who has mastered space ninjutsu just like Qinshan boy. Strength is enough. I saw it. Everyone, surround them. Kill them as soon as you get the information. At this time, Han also saw the two Minatos, and he immediately launched an attack instruction. After this reinforcement, the team now has 33 people. But it is a pity that these people are just cannon fodder in the eyes of Yugong Qinshan. Following Han's order, more than 30 people instantly increased their speed, activated various teleportation techniques, and rushed towards the two Minatos. I've been discovered, Fugaku. Well, let's fight then. I've long wanted to have a big fight. Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku also discovered the abnormality immediately. The two acted at the same time. Minato put his hands into the pocket behind his back, and in the next second he took out 8 special kunai, all of which were engraved with his Flying Thunder God technique, the Sword of Ninja Love. Uchiha Fugaku closed and opened his eyes, and the red 3 Magatama Sharingan was opened. Fire style. Phoenix Sage Fire Jutsu. The rapid speed of forming seals makes people say, holy shit. In an instant, Fugaku fired dozens of fireballs into the air, unleashing a 360-degree release. Holy shit, Fugaku, please pay attention, I'm still with you. Seeing a fireball flying past his scalp, Namikaze Minato angrily yelled at Fugaku. Fugaku ignored him, and at the same time as ninjutsu was activated, the breathtaking Sharingan swept around. No, it's Uchiha, don't look him in the eyes. The ninjas from Iwagakure village who entered the country of grass this time were somewhat capable. The first time they saw Sharingan, they knew they were in trouble. More than 30 people stopped walking at the same time, and several of them started to form seals. Earth style. Earth flow wall. Earth style is best at defense. The sudden rise of the wall directly blocked the fireball attacking them. As the fireball hit the wall and turned into little sparks, the counterattack officially started. Earth style. Earth and stone gun. Earth style. The art of reflecting fish in the earth. These Iwagakure ninjas cooperated very well, and some of them blended into the ground, preparing to find the right opportunity to carry out a sneak attack. One part activates earth-style ninjutsu to attack. The rest of them rushed towards the two of them with kunai and ninja swords in hand, engaging in hand-to-hand combat. This welcome ceremony is a bit grand. What a pity. Namikaze Minato looked at the earth thorns that were stabbing towards him, and he smiled slightly. The next second, all the kunai in his hand were thrown out and fell on the surrounding ground and trees respectively, and he himself disappeared directly from the spot. HMPH. A bunch of ants. Fire style. Tornado of fire. Seeing the Maifeng Shuaman leaving his side, Fugaku immediately let go of his hands and feet. A terrifying tornado of flames rose from the ground and enveloped him. No matter how the enemy thrusts at him, he can only be smashed into pieces when faced with the flaming tornado. Uchiha is particularly good at fire style. This is not just talk. Look at Fugaku now, he is completely a walking great fireball. He didn't have the character to stand and get beaten. He kept the flame tornado and moved directly. The huge fire tornado moved instantly. Retreat. Don't be affected. Earth style. Split the earth and turn the palm. A very strong ninja from Iwagakure village punched the ground after forming a seal. In an instant, the hard ground began to crack, and huge cracks opened in the direction of the flame tornado. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The opponent's attack continued, and Fugaku's attack did not stop either. Several shurikens flew out of the flames with silk threads and scattered in various arcs around them. Feel the flames of Uchiha. Fire style. Dragon flame jutsu. The shuriken connected to the silk thread fell to the ground, and flames instantly flowed out. The original flame tornado disappeared, replaced by several fire dragons roaring towards the Iwagakure ninjas. This man is also a strong one among Uchiha. Chinese. A ninja from Iwagakure village felt a pain in his throat just as he was about to retreat. Chinese. Chinese characters. Chinese prescriptions. Sorry, I should let you finish. The ninja turned around with difficulty and saw a blonde boy smiling and saying sorry, but the kunai in his hand stung deeper. 1. When the surrounding Iwagakures reacted and were about to focus their fire on him, he disappeared. So fast. Don't be alone. Iwagakure's reaction was quite quick, but Namikaze Minato still seized the opportunity and launched Flying Thunder God again. The target this time was Iwagakure, who was holding a ninja sword. He was already affected by the flames and his body was covered in smoke. Just as he was about to retreat, he was attacked by Minato and fell with a knife. 2. Minato shook away the blood from kunai, still looking calm and calm. Don't take my head. This made Fugaku very angry. He activated 3 ninjutsu in a row, but not even one person was burned to death. It was infuriating. The two sides fought for only a few breaths, and Iwagakure's side had already suffered battle damage, while Minato and Fugaku only paid some chakra. Tisk, Chome, what am I talking about? These two guys don't need us to worry about them. It seems so. That Uchiha boy used 3 ninjutsu. Not only was it powerful, but he didn't even feel tired at all. Sure enough, Uchiha is a pervert. I guess if Han can't hold on any longer, wait until he takes action and then we can watch the show. Hey, that's right. Moonlight Chinshin, who was watching the show, regretted very much that she didn't bring a handful of melon seeds. The battle continued, and the ninjas who had just disappeared into the ground also launched attacks in cooperation. But it didn't have much impact on the two Minatos. After all, there are 2 people, one has superhuman reflexes and a flying thunder god. A Sharingan possesses the strongest pupil technique, and ordinary sneak attacks cannot hinder them at all. After paying 3 lives again, Han finally couldn't sit still. Back off, you bunch of losers. The 2-meter-tall strong man rushed into the battlefield instantly. As he entered, the battlefield was instantly divided. Everyone in Iwagakure retreated one after another, with a hint of panic on their faces. Lord Han, shut up. More than 30 people can't even deal with 2 people. Even if the opponent is Uchiha, you won't be so unbearable. Han was almost furious, and his whole person exuded a terrifying aura. Pressing a kind of yenian, he kept making noises. Oh, are you the ninja leading the team? Jonin from Iwagakure village. As Han entered the battlefield, the calmness on Namikaze Minato's face disappeared, replaced by a look of solemnity. He was very sensitive to chakra, and he felt the rock-solid chakra and breath from the other party. Equally solemn is Fugaku, who is more direct than Minato. With Sharingan, he can directly see the opponent's thick chakra flow. The 2 of them shouted in their hearts at the same time, he is a powerful enemy. Then the 2 of them looked at each other and saw a sentence in each other's eyes, strike first to gain the upper hand. The next second, the blonde boy launched the Flying Thunder God and came directly to the rear of Han. Lord Han, sulfuric acid. As soon as the Iwagakure ninja issued a warning, the kunai that had already taken the lives of several of their companions had already stabbed Han's armor. There was a clear sound of metal collision. HMPH, it really is some kind of space ninjutsu. It's a pity that it's not powerful enough. My armor is specially made. I saw that the tip of the kunai was blocked by the armor, and a trace of sparks instantly dispersed. Cut. Launching the Flying Thunder God again, Namikaze Minato quickly returned to Fugaku. It's such a hard armor, not just any ordinary armor. You don't need to tell me, I can see it. A tentative attack made Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku look even more ugly. Wearing such heavy armor, there was no trace of fatigue on Han's face. In the eyes of the 2 of them, the other party was definitely a ninja with a strong body and good at physical skills. The youth power of Konoha. It's a pity that today is the end of your life. Bring it on. Han assumed a fighting stance, and his momentum rose rapidly. HMPH. What a shame. Fire style. Great Dragon Fire Jutsu. Fugaku directly launched his most powerful fire style ninjutsu. The huge fire dragon instantly rose into the air, turned around and rushed towards Han. Minato didn't stop, and threw out several special kunai again, preparing to find time to sneak attack. The armor is not without gaps. As long as the attack is launched at the gaps, it will be effective. Nice fire style. Too bad. Not enough. Boil style. Unparalleled weird power. Hearing the word boil style, all the ninjas in Yenian village were overjoyed. This is Lord Han's unique skill. It's so terrifying. Also ecstatic were Gecko Senzen and Chome. It's just that the reasons for both parties' joy are completely different. One person and one insect shouted at the same time, "Here we come." The show is about to begin. The show that has been planned for so long is finally about to begin. Melon seeds, bench, ready. We invite actor Five Tails Kokuo to appear. Chapter 71. Yugong Chinshin was looking at Han, who was about to use boil style. His mind suddenly recalled the pressure cooker from his previous life. When using a pressure cooker, it is very important to ensure that the air outlet is clear. If the air outlet is blocked, it may cause the pressure inside the pressure cooker to rise sharply, causing an explosion. It can be said that in his eyes, Han has become a pressure cooker that is about to explode. Kokuo's boil style. The principle is to raise the chakra to the boiling point in one breath, so that the whole body's strength increases in an instant. You must know that chakra is energy, and if you want to raise it to the boiling point, what kind of powerful chakra flow is required to do so? In this case, chakra turns into steam just like water being heated. The energy remains in the body, while the steam needs to be discharged from the body. Once the steam cannot be discharged, but instead collides with the boiling chakra in the body, well, according to Yugong Chinshin's estimation, it will definitely turn into an atomic boom. At this time, Han had already started to activate boil style, and the chakra all over his body began to operate crazily. The aura of terror began to rise. In the eyes of all Iwagakure ninjas, the next step is their powerful Jinchuriki Han-sama, who will emit a representative steam, and then kill the two Konoha ninjas with an absolutely crushing attitude. In the eyes of Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku, especially the latter's Sharingan, the chakra in Han's body is expanding rapidly and has reached a critical point. Minato, be careful, his chakra flow is terrifying. This is already at a non-human level. He may not be a simple ninja. Uchiha Fugaku has already preliminary analyzed the identity of the person in front of him. Huge steam had formed, and Han's expression gradually became arrogant. He already felt the power within his body that was like a god of war. Die. Boom. Just when Han was about to issue a declaration of battle, a cracking sound suddenly sounded from him. How? This. Han was shocked the next second, and found that his armor suddenly cracked. You must know that his armor is specially made, not even Namikaze Minato's special kunai can leave a mark on it. But now it actually cracked. Something's wrong. Why didn't Master Han emit steam? The Iwagakure ninja behind him also noticed something was wrong. It stands to reason that once the boil style is activated, steam will erupt. But now that Lord Han's boil style has been activated, there is no steam coming out of the armor. No, Han's eyes were red, his armor was broken, and the steam was not erupting, which made him feel bad. Sure enough, his bodies began to collide in the next second. To be precise, the armor should be expanding. Holy shit, Minato, back away. With Sharingan's observation, Uchiha Fugaku's eyes widened, and the three Magatama became much larger. What did he see? The chakra under the armor was compressed to the extreme. When he thought of the armor breaking, if he guessed correctly, the opponent was about to explode. No, feeling the steam that could not be discharged from his body, Han finally discovered the problem. The holes in his armor used for exhaust were blocked for some reason. As a result, the steam cannot be discharged at all. This is not the most important thing. Waves of numbness suddenly poured into his body. As the paralysis got worse, he couldn't even control his chakra. Finally, with Han's roar, he exploded. Boom. How big of an explosion can chakra suppress to the extreme? Moonlight Chinshin will tell you that he was 2,000 meters, 2 kilometers away from Han. He was blown away directly. Boom. A huge mushroom cloud was generated directly, and the shock caused by the explosion even shocked the entire kingdom of grass. Grass. Chome. Help me. Miscalculation. Yugong Qinshan, who was swept away by the explosion, was directly shaken to a height of 100 meters, and his whole body was hurt by the shock. Fortunately, he was far away, otherwise he would probably spurt blood. As for why he was affected into the sky, there was no way. Who made him stand on a tree dozens of meters above the ground? Han stood on the ground and exploded, and the impact of the explosion directly knocked him away. Then it was blown up into the sky by the air current caused by the explosion. Ha ha ha, it exploded. It really exploded. I'm laughing so hard. Kokuo's Jinchuriki is such an idiot. Chome burst into laughter the second after Han exploded. He couldn't help but laugh. Being blown up to the sky by his own ninjutsu, anyone who saw it would laugh to death. Coming. Qinshan, control your body shape. Chome's chakra poured into his body, and his wings instantly appeared from the mountainside of the moonlight, helping him stabilize his body. Yugong Qinshan immediately retreated with his wings, and at the same time activated his insect eyes to look at the center of the explosion. Well, the owner of the explosion, Han, has now turned into a fruit man, with white eyes and no hair on his body. The skin all over the body has exploded. Blood. Do you still want blood after such a violent explosion? It has already turned into gas. As for the Iwagakure ninjas, almost all of them were blown to ashes. Are there any survivors? Seeing 4 people tremblingly emerge from a pit with a diameter of 10 meters in the center of the explosion, Yugong Qinshan realized that these were the ninjas who had launched the Earth style to escape from the ground in the first place. By the way, where are Minato and Fugaku? Don't blow shit up. Suddenly he remembered the black and white impermanence chasing the murderer. Yugong Qinshan was so frightened that he quickly looked around. Nothing could happen to these 2 people. If something happened to them, he would never be able to return to the village in his life. After searching for a long time, they were finally found in a ruins 1 kilometer away from the center of the explosion. However, both of them were not in good condition at this time. Fugaku, are you okay? Ahem, 2 ribs are broken, and my left leg seems to be broken as well. What about you? My right arm is broken. I hit my head a little bit, I'm a little dizzy. Others are fine, thanks to me throwing the kunai far away earlier, otherwise we might have confessed. Minato held his right arm and shook his head. He felt that his eyes were full of ghosts. He had a concussion. It was definitely a concussion. What's going on? Why did he suddenly explode? He felt palpitations at this moment. Even though he used the flying thunder god to avoid the center of the explosion, the power of the explosion was too great, and both of them were injured just by being affected. Chakra is compressed, but I don't know why the compressed chakra fluctuates. I only saw these, I don't know the details. Hiss, we have to retreat. Uchiha Fugaku feels that it hurts terribly if he moves now, and his forehead is covered with cold sweat. Good. Roar. Just when the 2 were about to retreat, a violent roar suddenly sounded in the distance. The expressions of Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku suddenly changed. Because in their sight, a huge creature was breaking through the smoke, revealing a ferocious face. Each of the 9-tailed beasts has its own color. 1 tail, yellow. 2nd tail, blue. 3 tails, gray. 4 tails, red. 5 tails, pure white. 6 tails, milky white. 7 tails, green. 8 tails, dark red. 9 tails, orange. The huge creature that now appears in their sight is a pure white beast that is a fusion of a dolphin and a horse. The 5 tails are constantly dancing, which is the 5 tails Kokuo, the representative of absolute power. I just feel something is wrong, he is indeed Jinchuriki. 5 tails. 5 tails. Uchiha Fugaku endured the pain all over his body and looked at the giant beast in the distance. Then why didn't you tell us earlier? Let's retreat earlier. Minato rolled his eyes at him helplessly. Everyone has 5 tails showing, of course it's Jinchuriki and the tailed beast, do you need to tell me? Roar. As soon as Kokuo came out with red eyes, he started to go berserk. The Iwagakure ninjas at his feet were instantly frightened. 5 tails. Impossible. Where's Mr. Han? The only 4 remaining Iwagakure ninjas were also seriously injured at this time, but no matter how painful their bodies were, they could not stop the fear in their hearts. Five Tails has not appeared for a long time and has been suppressed by Master Han. But now, Five Tails has gone berserk. Run, run, find Master Z. Only Master Z can subdue Five Tails now. Just as the Iwagakure ninjas were about to run, they found that their bodies could not move. The terrifying paralysis instantly caused them to fall to the ground one by one. No, no, possible. At this time, they felt that their tongues were numb. Not to mention moving your body. While flying in the sky, Moonlight Chinchin saw Kokuo appear, and finally heard a familiar sound. Ding! Notice that host used a trick to cause Jinchuriki Han to be seriously injured, the ceiling armor to be damaged, and Five Tails Kokuo to go berserk. Special reward of strength plus 10. Hey, there are so few attributes, how come you only add 10 points of strength? Although Kokuo represents absolute power, is it too little to add 10 points? Just when Yugong Chinchin was a little depressed and wanted to complain, a series of system prompts sounded one after another. Ding! Because the host caused the Jinchuriki Han to explode, causing Uchiha Fugaku to suffer trauma, broken ribs, broken left leg, the special reward is Genjutsu plus 1. Ding! Because the host caused the Jinchuriki Han to explode, causing Minato Namikaze to suffer trauma, broken right arm, moderate concussion, the special reward is Ninjutsu plus 1. Ding! Because the host caused the Jinchuriki Han to explode, resulting in the death of 29 Iwagakure village ninjas, exploded into powder and no bones left, the special reward is strength plus 3. Ding! Because the host caused the Jinchuriki Han to explode, the remaining phosphorus powder in the air paralyzed the 4 Iwagakure ninjas. As a result, they were trampled to death by Five Tails Kokuo before they could dodge. The special reward was plus 2 physical strength. Moonlight Chinchin. Is it such a big impact? All 33 ninjas of Iwagakure village died. 2 of my family members, Black and White, were injured. Wow, this was a very successful operation. Ha 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 ha, Kokuo went berserk. Chinchin, our plan was successful. Look at Kokuo's red eyes, tisk tisk tisk. Chome looked at Kokuo who was venting like crazy, and he smiled so happily. Okay, let's run quickly. We have to take Minato and Fugaku with us, otherwise we'll be killed by Kokuo and I'll be doomed. Yugong Chinchin maintained the escape mode and flew towards 1 kilometer. He had to get rid of the 2 people who came to capture him first. After all, a tailed beast in a rampaging state is very scary, not to mention that both of them are seriously injured now. Roar! Kokuo, who was in a berserk state, had already started running, and his huge body brought up large amounts of dust as he ran. The most important thing is that the direction this guy ran is exactly the direction where Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku are. Seeing this scene, Yugong Chinchin suddenly felt that he might have done too many bad things, otherwise why would things always go to the bad side? You said there are so many directions, why does Kokuo have to go to his 2 scammers? Chome, let's sprint, lend me your strength. Okay, take it and take it. Even though Kokuo is so big, he doesn't run very fast. With me helping you, you will definitely be able to outrun him. Yugong Chinchin felt the chakra surge in his body, and the next second his wings suddenly flapped vigorously. The whole body rushed towards Minato and Fugaku at a speed faster than Kokuo. Minato, can you still use the Flying Thunder God? Facing Fugaku's question, Minato shook his head with a low expression. The explosion just now blew all the kunai he threw around into powder, and the only one made them fly away from the center of the explosion. Looking at Five Tails getting closer and closer, the 2 young heroes looked at each other and saw the darkness in each other's eyes. It doesn't matter if you didn't die on the battlefield, but now you are going to be killed by a tailed beast. I'm not willing to give in. Uchiha Fugaku let out an unwilling roar. Minato on the side also looked gloomy, so why didn't he think so? As Five Tails was getting closer and closer, a voice suddenly sounded beside them. HMPH, why do you have to come to the country of grass to find me if you have nothing to do? Are you stupid now? You can't die, just go back to the village and wait for my triumphant return. The slightly disgusted but very familiar voice was like a thunder in their ears. Although they couldn't see anyone, they knew that the person coming was Yugong Chinchin. At this moment, Uchiha Fugaku felt that he didn't want to kill him, but only if he could save himself. At this moment, Namikaze Minato felt that everything Senzin-kun had done to him before might not have been intentional, provided that he could be rescued. Let's go. Flying Thunder God Technique. Yu Guangchenshin deliberately shouted ninjutsu's name to let them understand that the person who saved them was the person they wanted to kill. The next second, the two figures disappeared instantly. As the scenery in front of them changed, Fugaku and Minato discovered that they had left their place and left the attack range of Five Tails. When we arrived at the top of a mountain in the distance, we could see Five Tails charging in the distance. It's really him, this fool. Grass. Fugaku uttered a curse word in excitement, and Minato on the side also nodded excitedly. At this moment, what kind of pursuit? What kind of plan? After Moonlight Chinshin, they will be their brothers, okay. Chinshin, you will be my brother from now on. Thousands of mountains. Thousands of Moonlight Mountains. Where are the people? Fugaku called out Moonlight Chinshin's name very happily, but no one answered him for a long time. The next second, the two of them didn't know where the strength came from, supporting them to stand up and look in the direction of Five Tails. Because they discovered that Moonlight Chinshin did not fly away with them. Yes, Yu Guangchenshin did not activate the Flying Thunder God technique to teleport himself together. After all, there is not only one Jinchuriki in the country of grass now, Four Tails Jinchuriki Laozi is also in the country of grass. His big show is not over yet. If Five Tails and Four Tails don't fight, how can he watch the show? The Toritsu was released, and Moonlight Chinshin just watched Five Tails Kokuo rushing towards him. This scene is not enough. Anyway, the country of grass has accepted the Iwagakure village. From this point of view, it is standing on the opposite side of Konoha. In this case, there is no need to show mercy to them. Chome, lend me your strength, I will take Kokuo to see Son Goku. These words directly spoke to Chome's heart. He was now eager to see the monkey versus the horse. If this happened in the past, he wouldn't dare to offend anyone. Now that he has Moonlight Chinshin, he can get back the anger he felt before. Okay, take the chakra, you can have as much as you want. Although it can't compare to a dead octopus and a smelly fox, Laozi's chakra content is definitely more than the other guys. Chome went to great lengths to watch the show, constantly transferring the chakra in his body into Gecko Chisen's body. Moreover, the control of chakra is very subtle, for fear of affecting the Moonlight Chinshin. After all, once too much chakra leaks out, the tailed beast code will be activated, and Moonlight Chinshin has warned him many times. Under normal circumstances, you must not expose yourself, otherwise they will wander around the world. With Chome's blessing, Moonlight Chinshin quickly moved towards the Earth Kingdom. Kokuo was already irritable, but after finally seeing two prey, they disappeared. Instead there is a bug. How annoying. Trample him to death. You must trample him to death. At this time, Kokuo only had one thought in his mind, which was to kill Moonlight Chinshin and vent the madness in his heart. She watched as Moonlight Chinshin changed direction, and Kokuo also changed direction and rushed directly towards the Earth Kingdom. This scene fell in the eyes of the two survivors on the top of the mountain in the distance. Their eyes turned red instantly. This fool, is he going to take Five Tails to the Earth Kingdom? Does he want his life? Fugaku's red eyes can no longer see the black eyeballs. Oh, no, he should not be able to see the Magatama. Chinshin, you fool. The reactions of Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku were completely opposite. There was no excitement, just disbelief in their eyes. He didn't want to believe what he was seeing. The person who had just saved his life was actually leaving them. If Moonlight Chinshin were here, he would definitely say, "You two really represent two extremes, the benevolence of the Senju clan and the love and hate of the Uchiha clan. What a special image. Fugaku, can you still move? We have to go back to the village quickly to find help." Fugaku gritted his teeth and stood up slowly, but the injury to his left leg made it very difficult for him to stand up. Minato, on the other hand, had black eyes and a concussion that made his vision blurry. "Grass, you support me and I will lead you. Let's go back to the village quickly." At this time, the two geniuses instantly transformed into the blind man and the lame man in the story, helping each other. It's just that they are at the top of the mountain at this time, and it is troublesome to get down. After taking 2 steps, they collapsed on the ground. "Let's restore chakra first." Fugaku, do you have any military food pills? As soon as the words, Hyorio pill, came out, Uchiha Fugaku's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. He said word by word through gritted teeth. Don't mention Bing Liang Wan in front of me in the future, otherwise I will really be tempted to kill you. Namikaze Minato trembled all over, and an unforgettable memory suddenly flooded into his heart, making him slap himself hard in the mouth. Let you talk too much. Kokuo is still on a rampage in the land of grass. And the country of grass has sounded the alarm. Why did Iwagaker's tailed beast go berserk in the land of grass? What on earth are they doing? There is no shadow in the country of grass. After all, it is just a small country. All ninjas obeyed the committee of the land of grass. At this time, the 3 elders of the committee had gathered together and were discussing the matter of Five Tails' rampage in the country. There are 2 Jinchuriki from Iwagaker, and the one who entered this time is the Five Tails Jinchuriki Han. I have seen him. He is a resolute ninja with a strong will. Logically speaking, he should not go berserk. One of them was very puzzled. After all, in his opinion, the reason why Iwagaker village allowed Jinchuriki to leave the village showed recognition of Jinchuriki's strength. Even if you don't achieve perfect Jinchuriki, you will never go berserk at will. But the current situation was so real that the 3 elders of the committee were numb for a while. Just as the 3 elders were twisting their faces with sorrow, Jonin, a grass ninja, hurriedly pushed open the door of the conference room. Oops, 3 elders, Iwagaker's Jinchuriki, 4 Tails Laozi has also entered the land of grass, and is quickly approaching the direction of 5 Tails. This sentence directly aroused thousands of waves. Let everyone take shelter. Stay away from the Earth Kingdom. Afterwards, send me a letter to inform this fool Onoki. From now on, he can only borrow the road from Iwagaker village. He will definitely not stay in our country of grass. 1-tailed beast is not enough. Another one. What do you think the country of grass is? The Colosseum. Just when Moonlight Shinshin was rapidly heading towards the kingdom of Earth. Laozi, who entered the country of grass first, felt the explosion of the tailed beast chakra and was rapidly moving towards the direction of the explosion. How could this fool Han go berserk? Still going on a rampage in another country. Doesn't he want his life? This fool Onoki shouldn't be allowed to stay in the country of grass. Now that 5 Tails has gone berserk, the country of grass will definitely put all the blame on Iwagaker. Forget it, it's useless to say anything now. Son, I might have to ask you for help later. Laozi looked solemn at this time, and his last words were not addressed to anyone else, but to the 4 Tails Son Goku in his body. Humph, what a beautiful idea. Why should I help this guy like you? 5 Tails just goes berserk, what does that have to do with me? 4 Tails Son Goku doesn't have a good temper, so he doesn't bother to talk to Laozi. Ha ha ha, I will go directly to stop it when the time comes, and I will leave you alone. Son Goku. Then why are you asking me? Laozi, I still respect you. After a round of scoldings between one man and one beast, no one paid any attention to the other. It can be said that Laozi is not used to 4 Tails at all. He must go to 4 Tails anyway. After all, he is a ninja in his own village, and he has a good relationship with Han. He cannot let him continue to cause damage. When he got on, 4 Tails had no choice but to get on for his safety. It has to be said that Laozi is indeed a qualified Jinchuriki, and he can control the temper of the tailed beast in him very well. Chome, directly ahead, is that 4 Tails Jinchuriki. Yugong Chinshin looked at the figure appearing in his eyes. In order to confirm the identity of the other person, he quickly asked his partner inside the body. It should be, I feel that the chakra in his body fluctuates unusually, and his mood is a bit anxious. Chinshin, prepare to escape. Otherwise, don't get implicated. Gecko Kionzan nodded, turned around and threw a kunai with a detonating talisman on the head of Kokuo who was chasing behind him, and then directly launched the Flying Thunder God. Boom! The detonating talisman exploded on Kokuo's head, once again arousing Kokuo's roar. She is crazy. This little bug in front of her actually dares to pick up the explosive talisman and blow up her head. I wonder if she cherishes her face the most. Must be trampled to death. Must be trampled to death. I have to say that Moonlight Shinshin knows how to attract hatred. If he doesn't hit people in the face, he just hits them in the face. The key is that he knew that Kokuo was a female, so this move was even more inappropriate. Unfortunately, when the furious Kokuo wanted to vent her anger, she suddenly found that the little bug was missing. Yes, gone. Just disappeared under her nose. How can we cultivate? It's too much to bully an animal. Mu Akoku, who lost his goal, then staged a show. What is madness? I saw her spinning around and starting to destroy things around her. Trees, stepped on. Stones, stepped on. Hillsides, stepped on. Human, trampled to death. Wait, people, yes, another person appeared in Kokuo's sight. Lava style, burning river rock jutsu. In an instant, dozens of magma fireballs suddenly rose into the sky, and under Kokuo's gaze, they all bombarded her head. 5 tails, stop your rampage, otherwise, Laozi just stood on the top of a tree, exuding a strong fighting spirit. Lava style Laozi, not because 4 tails uses lava style, but because he himself is a ninja with the blood inheritance limit. The blood inheritance limit is also the same as 4 tails, which relies on the fusion of fire and earth to form the lava style. From this point of view, Laozi is undoubtedly the most suitable Jinchuriki for 4 tails. It is precisely because of this that Laozi is a nearly perfect Jinchuriki ninja, although his relationship with the 4 tails in his body is still awkward. Roar, it's not a slap in the face, don't you know? You dare to hit her Kokuo in the face. At this moment, the berserk Kokuo became even more crazy. With a goal in mind, she rushed directly towards Laozi. HMPH. Sure enough, there is no way to wake up Han with words. There is no other way but to suppress 5 tails. Tailed beast outerwear, lava style chakra mode. A large swath of flames instantly covered Laozi, and a tail instantly appeared behind him. It was the tailed beast's coat formed by using the power of the tailed beast. With the blessing of the power of the tailed beast, Laozi used both feet to rush towards Kokuo, and the tree under his feet was instantly burned by the high temperature. Although tailed beasts are scary, to ordinary people, to Laozi, who is also a Jinchuriki, 5 tails at this time is just a beast that has lost its mind. The huge size is a target. It's just an almost unbreakable target. Lava style, burning river rock jutsu. Once again, dozens of magma bombs were released and blasted towards 5 tails' head. Laozi himself quickly approached 5 tails. He had to jump onto 5 tails' body so that his attack could achieve maximum effect. Roar, this time 5 tails did not let Laozi attack. She lowered her head slightly, and the long horns on her head moved forward instantly, and the next second she started running. Snort. Laozi had previously suppressed the rampaging 5 tails with the village ninjas, and knew his attack methods very well. Seeing that she was about to run, Laozi jumped decisively and jumped directly onto 5 tails' back. Lava style. Granite. Laozi, who came to the back of 5 tails, showed off his power again. His body was covered with lava and he landed on 5 tails with one punch after another. This is how the battle between Jinchuriki and the tailed beast unfolded. Hey, there are 2 brushes in this human pillar. How can Son Goku integrate so well with him? Use lava style however you want. Yugong Chinshin relied on the Flying Thunder God's technique to immediately leave the center of the battle and arrive several kilometers away from 5 tails. Standing on the tree and looking at Laozi who was dealing with Kokuo, Chome couldn't help but be a little surprised. You can't donate your insects, right? That person already has the lava-style blood inheritance limit. Isn't it very easy to use Son Goku's power? He has lava style. Otherwise, why do you think he would become Son Goku's Jinchuriki? That's not surprising. After all, the roots are the same, and the integration will be much faster. Yugong Chinshin looked at Laozi who was showing off his power in the direction of the battlefield, and couldn't help but sigh. Laozi can be said to be a perfect Jinchuriki, and the first perfect Jinchuriki. The relationship between him and Son Goku is not as bad as imagined. Laozi, who has been a Jinchuriki since he was a child, has long conquered Son Goku's heart. It's a pity that everyone and the beast are all stubborn, and they didn't pierce the window paper until they died. This drama has not reached its climax yet. The tailed beast code alone, or even the half-tailed beast transformation, cannot stop the rampaging Kokuo. Son Goku must take action himself. Chome, how long do you think he can last? The purpose of Moonlight Chinchin is to make the two-tailed beasts fight, and Jinchuriki alone is not enough. Chomei chuckled and expressed her opinion. Although Kokuo lacks attack methods, her chakra can turn into steam. Even if that Jinchuriki is good, she can't last long. Gecko Chizun nodded. His opinion was the same as Chomei's. As a tailed beast that has survived for thousands of years, Kokuo's methods are not the only ones. Going berserk will affect her sanity, but it will never affect her strength. Let's hide further away. Anyway, we can still see clearly with the insect eyes. When Son Goku appears, it won't be safe here. As soon as the words fell, Yugong Chinchin's figure disappeared again. This time, he came directly to the place where Minato and Fugaku had been transferred. As soon as he landed, he heard Fugaku's furious voice and Minato's speechless reply. Why don't you know how to heal ninjutsu? I am a fighting ninja, why do I need to know medical ninjutsu? Gecko Senzin. Medical ninjutsu. Is Fugaku's head broken? Chakra is recovering too slowly. Minato, what about you? It's still very slow, but Fugaku, look at Five Tails, is it being stopped by someone? What are those red lights? Why did she start attacking randomly? The two people's attention was completely attracted by the tailed beast in the distance, even if they were dozens of kilometers apart, but the tailed beast was so big that it was difficult not to see it. I said you two still have time to watch a show. Fugaku and Minato were startled when they heard the sound and looked back quickly. They saw that Yugong Chinchin, whom they had longed for, was looking at them with a playful expression. Looking at the stunned duo chasing the murderer, Yugong Chinchin felt very happy. I asked you to chase me without any problem. You all chased me to the kingdom of grass. You must be stupid. I was plotted to death by my master. Tisk tisk, I have to say that you guys are really wonderful. Without you two, he would have to work hard to stimulate Han. Look at it now, Five Tails is going berserk, and you two are indispensable. What, you don't recognize me anymore? You two came to the country of grass, do you dare to say that you didn't come to see me? Minato and Fugaku's faces turned red when they heard Moonlight Chinchin's somewhat joking voice. This fool, why don't you pick up the pot? Yes, we are here to find you. You fool, you have caused me so much misery, why can't I take revenge? HMPH. But, since you saved me, I won't argue with you anymore. When it comes to which clan has the stronger tongue, Uchiha is definitely the first. The arrogant Uchiha clan looks confident even when facing their benefactors. Moonlight Chinchin couldn't hold back at all and just laughed out loud. You fool Chinchin, you are so ridiculous. Don't think that just because you saved me, I won't dare to kill you. If I hadn't lost my chakra now and was still injured, I would have stabbed you both high and low. Seeing Fugaku getting more and more irritable, Yugong Chinchin waved his hands repeatedly. Don't laugh, don't laugh. Are you two okay? Can you still leave? Five Tails is still going berserk over there. Just now I saw a Iwagakure ninja using ninjutsu, which is the blood successor limit. I felt something was not right, so I ran back immediately. Minato and Fugaku were shocked when they heard the news. Have all the bloodline ninjas from Iwagakure village entered the land of grass? It seems that the country of grass has been completely infiltrated by Iwagakure village. This information must be sent back to the village as soon as possible. Chinchin, you're the only one who's fine now, hurry back to the village. You two don't have to worry about us. Namikaze Minato's expression was very serious. The situation in the country of grass had completely exceeded expectations. First, Jinchuriki went berserk, and now the high-end combat power of Iwagakure village has also entered the country of grass. If precautions are not taken, the Fire Nation may be in danger at any time. Don't worry, I still have enough chakra. It's no problem to take you two with me. By the way, I have Bing Liang pills here. Why don't you two take some to recover? Hearing the words, Hyorio pill, Fugaku and Minato were stunned for a moment, and the former almost dragged Zanchi to copy the sword. Minato also glared at him fiercely. Yugong Chinchin was sincere. Seeing the fierce looks of the two of them, he burst into laughter. You really don't deserve to be a human being, right? It's all because of you, the fool. I will never take military food pills again in my life. What Fugaku said was true. When he saw the dark meatballs, his whole body trembled, and the little flower tightened. He never wanted to experience that uncontrollable feeling of exhaustion in his life. Just when he was about to curse, another roar erupted from the distance in the direction of Five Tails. Roar. Yugong Qinshan felt happy when he heard this roar. Here it comes. The scene you have been waiting for a long time is finally here. I saw a big red monkey instantly appear on Five Tails in the distance. This monkey was extremely huge and had 4 tails. Is that 4 tails? Qinshan, that ninja you just saw couldn't be Jinchuriki from 4 tails. Minato felt like his entire brain was running out of energy. Fugaku was also shocked. This was the first time for the two of them to see a tailed beast, and they were completely overwhelmed by the terror of the tailed beast. Especially Minato. When he looked at the 2 tailed beasts in the distance, the first thing he thought of was Kushina. He secretly thought, is there such a monster inside Kushina? Yugong Qinshan's expression at this time was completely different from the two of them, with a flush on his face. That is the smile of excitement, happiness, and a successful conspiracy. The chome in his body was also very comfortable. Qinshan, it has to be you. The fight really started. Ha 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 ha, it's been a long time since I've seen Kokuo and Son Goku, let alone watched them fight. Hit. The dead monkey hit Kokuo hard. Ha ha ha. As an old 6 insect who has been led astray by Moonlight Qinshan, chome has now been completely assimilated. It's just a matter of watching the fun. What made Yugong Qinshan happiest was that he heard the familiar notification sound again. Ding! I noticed that the host was using a strategy to cause a battle between the 2 tailed beasts in Yenian village. The special reward was +3 physical strength. Done. Isn't everything just for this prompt sound? Ha 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 ha, all that's left is to watch the show. After watching the show, Fei Lei Shen can just leave. The perspective shifted to Lao Zi's side. Lao Zi had already jumped on Kokuo's back and launched a series of attacks. However, Five Tails has rough skin and thick flesh, and even the extremely lethal lava style cannot break through the defense. For a while, Lao Zi also fell into an embarrassing situation. Even if you go berserk, your defense is still so amazing. Lava style, undersea needle. Lao Zi did not believe in evil, condensed the magma again, and punched Five Tails on the back. But this time, Five Tails no longer chooses to endure. Roar. A roar sounded, and the chakra in Five Tails' body instantly boiled. Boil style activates directly. The next second, Five Tails' body began to emit steam. Lao Zi didn't pay attention and was directly sprayed into the sky by steam. Boil style. Even though Lao Zi is wearing a chakra coat, he can still feel the surge and heat of the steam. This is not the most important thing. Now he is in the sky, and the Five Tails below are already looking at him. The sharp horn had already hit him. In desperation, Lao Zi could only choose the last resort. Son, it's up to you. Hit her. Son Goku complained with great disdain. What? It's weak. It's not working anymore. Now I know I'm begging you, Grandpa Monkey. Snort. Lao Zi wanted to curse out loud, but he saw Five Tails' horns getting closer and closer. He still strategically surrendered. Son, help quickly. Otherwise I will be pierced by the horns of Five Tails, and you will have to repair my body. Son Goku spat in displeasure. You keep teasing me like this, what a fool. Give me control. Roar. Son Goku exploded directly. Lao Zi let go of control of his body, and the tailed beast transformation was completed in an instant. The big red monkey punched Kokuo in the face, knocking Kokuo's head to one side. Do you want to fight? My grandson will accompany you. The original Jinchuriki battle instantly transformed into Tailed Beast vs Tailed Beast. 4 Tails Son Goku vs 5 Tails Kokuo. However, Son Goku's punch made Kokuo crazy again. Slap me in the face again. Slap me in the face again. 1 or 2. Both must die. Boil style. Unparalleled strange power. The battle between the tailed beasts is very simple. They either fight together or keep distance to prepare the tailed beasts. Otherwise, why? Because that's what you see. After the appearance of 4 Tails Son Goku, it explained what monkeys can do in martial arts and no one can stop them, especially tailed beasts like Kokuo who lack flexibility. Kokuo was beaten with both fists and feet, and he was stunned. But Kokuo was also stubborn, and angrily started running around Son Goku to increase his speed. At this time, the advantage of 4 legs was revealed, and Son Goku with 2 legs could not catch up at all. The last horn pierced Son Goku's shoulder directly. This fight lasted for a long time, and I became more and more happy watching the moonlight and thousands of mountains. What's a fight if there's no prizes and no injuries? Kokuo's mouth was crooked and Son Goku was injured. This was the result he wanted. Putting aside the violent Kokuo, Son Goku's eyes have become red since he was injured. No matter how Lao Zi shouted in his inner world, it didn't work. Son Goku was angry, he was anxious, and he was going to run away. This time Lao Zi panicked. You fool has 4 legs. You insisted on beating him. Roar. Son Goku's thick legs suddenly exerted force, and the huge monkey retreated directly. At the same time, it opened its bloody mouth, and the terrifying chakra was gathering at an extremely fast speed. Kokuo saw a trace of ridicule in his eyes, and then he opened his mouth and gathered chakra as well. Chinchin boy, pay attention. This is our tailed beast's most powerful attack method, the tailed beast Jade. You can now transform into a half-tailed beast. It stands to reason that you can start trying this skill now. Take a look. It will be good for you. The chakra of our 9-headed tailed beast is composed of Yang attribute blue chakra and Yin attribute purple-black chakra. Let your chakra form change to the extreme, and mix it in the mouth with a ratio of Yin and Yang of 2, 8 and compress it into an ultra-dense chakra. The ball is released in one breath. Look, is the tailed beast Jade they talk about made from the fusion of 2 colors of chakra. Chomei directly transformed into a teacher on the spot and began to teach Moonlight Chinchin tailed beast Jade how to use it. In Chomei's view, Son Goku and Kokuo in the distance are the exercises on his blackboard, and Moonlight Chinchin is the student looking at the exercises, which makes him very satisfied. This was Yugong Chinchin's first time observing the tailed beast Jade. Although he was very familiar with this thing in his previous life, he never thought that one day he would be able to use this incredible ability. I was fascinated for a while. Is this a tailed beast? What is that? What a terrifying chakra fused together. If that thing explodes, it will definitely destroy a mountain. Uchiha Fugaku used the recovered chakra to activate his Sharingan because he wanted to see it more clearly, but when he saw it clearly, he was shocked to the extreme. His face was very ugly, and his body was even trembling. The terror of the tailed beast was deeply imprinted in his heart. Namikaze Minato was also fascinated by the sight. Unlike Gecko Senzin's, his fascination was the way the tailed beast Jade condensed. For some reason, when he looked at the tailed beast Jade that was gradually forming, he did not feel any fear. Instead, he felt a sense of excitement in his heart, as if the tailed beast Jade was the direction he was headed. You too. It's time to go. If those 2 things explode, even our place will be affected. The Kingdom of Grass is completely over. With the 2 tailed beasts going berserk, the Kingdom of Grass may not be able to recover within a few years. The tailed beast Jade was completed, but Moonlight Chinchin stopped looking, turned around suddenly and walked towards Minato and Fugaku, placing his hands on them. Prepare to evacuate. The next second, the Flying Thunder God activated, and Moonlight Chinchin placed spells along the way since entering the country of grass. Relying on these spells and not caring about the consumption of chakra, Yugong Chinchin took the 2 people directly to the border of the Kingdom of Grass and the Kingdom of Fire in one breath. And the moment they landed, boom, it exploded, and the tailed beast Jade of 5 tails and 4 tails collided together, causing a huge explosion. On this day, the grass country was completely reminded of the terror of tailed beasts. On this day, the country of grass blocked Iwagakure village forever. When Tsuchikage Onoki received the news from his subordinates, he smiled brightly, shook his head and shouted, "Impossible, absolutely impossible. I contributed so much money to the country of grass. Even if I am stationed in the country of grass, they will not object. The country of grass has long regarded me as the god of wealth. How could they exclude me from Iwagakure village?" Wiping away cold sweat, the subordinate handed over a set of photos and a letter. Onoki froze instantly. The photo was very clear. 5 tails and 4 tails were fighting. The letter was written very concisely. Just 2 sentences. The first sentence: "You, Onoki, have gone too far by allowing the tailed beasts to wreak havoc in our country of grass. The country of grass will not be friends with you. Not being an enemy is the final bottom line." Second sentence: "Immediately now, Onoki, you personally lead the team to bring back the 2 tailed beasts that are still going crazy. At the same time, we will compensate our country of grass for a lot of losses. Onoki spurted out a mouthful of old blood. Two fools. I'm going to kill you. That day, Tsuchikage Onoki led a group of elite ninjas straight to the land of grass. And the person who caused all this was walking leisurely on the main road of the land of fire. Ding. Because host provoked a war between 5 tails and 4 tails, causing large areas of the Kingdom of Grass to be damaged, and the Kingdom of Grass vented all its grievances on Tsuchikage Onoki. This perfectly complies with the purpose of this system, and is a special reward for blood succession limited fusion. Progress. 10%. Note. When it reaches 100%, the second blood limit can be opened. Ding. Due to host's inappropriate behavior, Tsuchikage Onoki was so angry that he vomited 3 ounces of blood. This perfectly complies with the purpose of this system. Special reward. 5% blood succession limit fusion progress. Note. When it reaches 100%, the second blood limit can be opened. Gekko Chizen's movement of supporting Uchiha Fugaku stagnated momentarily, causing Fugaku to almost lose his footing and fall. Can you help me properly? You stopped suddenly. Do you think my left leg is still fine? Hearing Fugaku's curse, Yugong Chinshin immediately loosened his grip and withdrew his strength. Crack. Ah, Moonlight Chinshin, you fool. I'm going to kill you. Moonlight Chinshin looked at Uchiha Fugaku, who fell to the ground, and the corners of his mouth turned up. But it wasn't because he fell, but because the rewards were too rich. The second blood inheritance limit. What a great reward. Who stipulates that there can only be one type of blood inheritance limit? Come on, I have a cheat. Look at the future Mizukage Terumime, with the 3 elements of water, earth and fire, and the 2 blood inheritance limits. Wow, how awesome. The nature changes of chakra are divided into 7 types: fire, wind, thunder, earth, water, yang and yin. When the 2 chakra properties change and merge, a new escape technique will be produced, which is called blood inheritance limit. However, there are many ninjas with various nature changes, but there are only a few who can inherit the blood limit. This means that the formation of blood inheritance boundaries is related to the blood vessels and even DNA in the human body. This is also one of the topics studied by Moonlight Senzen and Orochimaru before. He, Gekko Sen Yamamoto, has the 4 attributes of fire, earth, water, and wind. It can be said that he also has the possibility of multiple blood inheritance limits. As a result, he can only escape. Because his bloodline comes from the Moonlight clan, he has a translucent gene in his gene chain. Now this situation can finally change. Although he doesn't know how the system plans to let him have the second blood inheritance limit, since it is produced by the system, it must be a high-quality product, and he can rest assured. Just when he wanted to fall in love with Feifei, because of the smile on his lips, a certain pink eye disease broke out again. You saw me falling and you smiled so happily. Ah, I will definitely kill you. Uchiha Fugaku ignored Minato's dissuasion, and every word he spoke was filled with determination to kill Moonlight Chinshin. Ah, Fugaku, why did you fall? I was distracted just now, I'm sorry. Shit, you did it on purpose. Gekko Chinshin, who was in a good mood, ignored Fugaku at all, and together with Minato, he picked him up and continued on their way. Because they were carrying the wounded, they walked for a long time before they returned to their village. This is still Yugong Chinshin. If you have anything to do, you can use Flying Thunder God to fly for a short distance, otherwise you will have to delay some time. Minato, you and Fugaku go to the hospital for treatment, and I'll go to the Hokage building to report the situation. After all, this is my mission. Such a big thing has happened in the country of grass. Master Hokage must know as soon as possible. Moonlight Chinshin spoke very solemnly, like a good ninja who fulfilled his duties. Okay, you go ahead. Fugaku and I really have to go to the hospital again. The injuries of both of them were not serious, and it was impossible not to take a closer look, especially Fugaku, who had almost half of his body broken. After separation, Moonlight Chinshin went straight to the Hokage building. What he didn't know was that there was such a big turmoil in the land of grass, and Sarutobi Hiruzen had already received corresponding news. At this time, he was very busy, and at the same time, there was Danzo chattering in front of him. Hiruzen, a fight breaks out between 2-tailed beasts in the land of grass. This is no longer a trivial matter. You know the terror of tailed beasts. At this time, we should use the power of 9 tails. Otherwise, once the tailed beasts of Iwagakure attack us, the village's losses will exceed expectations. Tailed beasts have always been a village's ultimate fighting force. If it hadn't been for an emergency, Jinchuriki shouldn't have gone to the battlefield. Especially the tailed beasts controlled by Konoha are the most terrifying and powerful nine tails among the nine-tailed beasts. All this time, Konoha has never used the power of nine tails. Give Jinchuriki to my roots, and I will use all my power to help her quickly master the method of controlling nine tails. This is not for offense, but for self-protection. Danzo's words were awe-inspiring, but who he was, Sarutobi Hiruzen knew very well. Once the nine tails Jinchuriki comes into contact with it, it will go against Danzo's incorruptible snake in the darkest methods, and he will have to poison Kushina. It would be weird not to turn into a war machine. Report, Hokage-sama. Moonlight Chinshin is back, and there is important information. The sudden shouting made Hiruzen Sarutobi ecstatic and Danzo Shimura's face darkened. It's this fool boy again. It's because of him that he couldn't get that Scorch-style ninja. What a great blood inheritance limit. Let him in. In Sarutobi Hiruzen's view, Moonlight Kionzen returned at this time, and the information he brought back must be related to the tailed beast incident in the Land of Grass. Danzo also sat on the sofa next to him very wisely. It was obvious that he was also interested in the information that Moonlight Chinshin brought back this time. Gecko Chizen saw Danzo as soon as he entered the door, but he had no doubts. Come on, he is also the senior brother of Sarutobi Hiruzen, one of the 6 disciples of the second Hokage, and the Nabecage of Konoha. Isn't it right to appear in the Hokage building? Is it normal now? Lord Hokage, I have finished exploring the information about the country of grass. Iwagakure village sent a large number of ninjas to station in the country of grass. The name of the ninja leading the team is Han, Jinchuriki of 5 Tails. This rampage was also instigated by him. Oh, by the way, there is a tailed beast battle in the Land of Grass. You should know about it, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. After all, the sudden appearance of the tailed beast was too eye-catching, and the terrifying chakra fluctuations made the border guards even more frightened. You have to thank Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Fugaku for this. Yugong Chinshin suddenly smiled and brought out the murderous duo. This immediately attracted the attention of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo. What do you mean? What did Uchiha and Namikaze Minato do? Could it be that the tailed beast went berserk because of them? Danzo asked directly, causing Sarutobi Hiruzen to frown slightly. Danzo, I am the Hokage. You are just an observer. If you want to listen, just listen honestly. Danzo, monkey, are you the one? Sarutobi Hiruzen, this is my disciple and grandson reporting to me, why are you interrupting? I have been secretly searching for the ninja station of Iwagakure village in the country of grass. Until the two of them entered the country of grass, hey, I have to say that although these two people are very strong, they are far behind in stealth skills. I don't know what they were thinking about blatantly entering the country of grass from the border of the country of fire. According to what I saw, these two guys were discovered as soon as they entered the country of grass. Namikaze Minato. It's all Fugaku's fault, he had to enter directly. Uchiha Fugaku. Moonlight Chinshin, you idiot, backstab lousy. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression changed slightly. Of course he knew the motive of these two people going to the Land of Grass, but he never expected that these two people, who he thought were very elite, would actually make such a mistake. These two people are the strongest of the younger generation of Konoha and the future pillars of Konoha. How could they do such a stupid thing? Isn't this conceited? This is stupidity. Uchiha won't say it anymore. Why is Minato, the disciple, so careless? It must be Jiraiya, the fool, who didn't set a good example. You have to teach him a lesson later. Such a good disciple has been led astray. Look how well Orochimaru is doing. Jiraiya. Why am I included? Orochimaru. Ha ha ha, it's all Chinshin-kun who strives for his own success. And it directly alarmed the Jinchuriki Han. But these two are really strong. Faced with Iwagakure's siege, they can easily deal with it and kill a few people. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was originally a little dissatisfied, finally improved after hearing this. I thought to myself, I am too anxious to judge. Humanity is a profession with specializations. Their concealment is indeed not good, but they still have hard power. Kid, can you speak faster? Pause after 2 sentences, pause after 2 sentences. Are you fishing? Danzo really couldn't stand listening anymore. This fool brat spoke slowly and was breathing heavily. I talked for a long time but didn't get to the point at all, which is really annoying. Ah, Danzo-sama, don't I have to say this in a little bit? After all, I've been lurking for so long. I can't finish this in just 1 or 2 sentences. Gecko Chinchin pretended to have a helpless expression for a moment, and the veins on Sarutobi Hiruzen's head appeared again. Then let's talk about the key points. Let's talk about the 2-tailed beasts and the distribution of troops in Iwagakure village. Don't say those who have it don't. Crack. Before Danzo could finish speaking, Sarutobi Hiruzen's slap fell, and the huge slap instantly interrupted Danzo's speech. Danzo, I told you, I am the Hokage. He reports to me, not to you. Listen to me honestly, or get out. Danzo stopped talking for a moment and sat back with a dark face. He must listen to the information. After all, the war is approaching and he cannot miss any information. Sarutobi Hiruzen snorted coldly, then performed a face change in seconds, and smiled and motioned for Moonlight Chinchin to continue. Faced with Iwagakure's attack, the two of them are more than capable of dealing with it. But as Han joins the fight, things start to change. But I don't know why that Jinchuriki's status suddenly changed. His armor instantly cracked and exploded. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo frowned at the same time and exploded. It stands to reason that a Jinchuriki could be released by Onoki, so how could it suddenly explode? What Jinchuriki is he? 5 tails Jinchuriki. After the explosion, he ran away. Fortunately, I hid far away, otherwise I would have been affected by the explosion, but Minato and the 2 idiots were not so lucky. If Minato hadn't run so fast, they would have become fans. Moonlight Chinchin suddenly thought of those 30 Iwagakure. Tisk tisk, they didn't even go to the battlefield, they were directly blown to pieces by their own Jinchuriki. How pitiful, no bones were left. Hey, if it's 5 tails, that makes sense. We still have information from 5 tails. Boil style will cause a large amount of steam, which should be an explosion caused by overload. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was very solemn. Onoki must have been planning for 5 tails to enter the battlefield for a long time. If 2 Jinchuriki appear on the frontal battlefield, the pressure on Konoha will be huge. You did a good job. It is now clear that both Jinchuriki from Iwagakure have entered the battlefield. It seems that the 4 tails who appeared later also entered the battle to stop 5 tails from going on a rampage. After all, it has always been Onoki's idea to use tailed beasts to balance tailed beasts. The situation is not good. Yugong Chinchin shrugged. Anyway, his job was to gather information, not to fight. There were other people fighting, so it was not his turn. Chinchin, you don't have to go out these days. It just so happens that the ninja school graduation examination and Chunin examination are about to begin. You will be the examiner. Chunin exam. Moonlight Chinchin. Thinking back, I think I heard him mention it once when I had dinner with Hataki Sakumo's family last time. Didn't expect it to arrive so soon. Okay, I'm good at this. If that's okay, I'll go out. I have to go to the hospital to see those 2 idiots. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, and then Moonlight Chinchin left. Danzo waited until Moonlight Chinchin left before speaking again. Hiruzen, you heard it too. 5 tails and 4 tails entered the battlefield one after another. You should be very clear about what this means. 9 tails Jinchuriki's training can't be delayed any longer. Faced with Danzo's persecution, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care at all. 9 tails cannot be used for combat, you don't have to think about this. Danzo, 9 tails Jinchuriki does not allow you to interfere with the roots. There is no need to mention this matter again. Nabekage was furious when he heard this, but he couldn't change Hiruzen Sarutobi's decision. After all, he was the Hokage. With a cold snort, Guoying slammed the door and left. At Konoha Hospital, the doctor on duty looked at the 2 familiar teenagers in front of him and couldn't help but feel confused. Didn't you just get out of the hospital a few days ago? Why don't you care about your body so much? Look, one has a concussion and the other has multiple fractures. Hey, today's young people are going too far. Uchiha Fugaku and Namikaze Minato, who were lying on the previous hospital bed, had dark faces, but they were helpless in the face of the doctor's nagging. Minato, you are serious too. You just got discharged from the hospital. Why can't you be more honest? Kushina sat by the window peeling an apple and complaining. Uchiha Makoto on the other side did not speak, but his eyes were also very resentful. It was obvious that the two of them agreed with the doctor's words. Hey, lying down again. You too. Gecko Chizun suddenly appeared at the window with a fruit basket in his hand. Looking at Uchiha Fugaku lying on the bed by the window, he laughed. Seeing Moonlight Thousand Mountains, the four people had completely different reactions. Fugaku turned his head away with a look of displeasure, not looking at him. Minato nodded at him slightly gratefully. Kushina snorted in great displeasure. Makoto thanked him very gratefully. Brother Fugaku, please stop being shameless. If it hadn't been for Moonlight Chinchin this time, you would have been in trouble. That's a tailed beast. Makoto handed the peeled apple to Fugaku, his face full of gratitude to Moonlight Chinchin. Moonlight Chinchin, although you hurt brother Fugaku last time and was hospitalized, for the sake of saving his life this time, I forgive you. Tisk tisk, they are indeed the Uchiha clan, they are so arrogant. Haha, it's a small matter. Fugaku and I still have a good relationship. It was an accident last time. HMPH, what an accident, you did it on purpose last time. If it weren't for you this time, wouldn't Minato and Fugaku have to go to the country of grass? Kushina's attitude was a bit worse, but she was telling the truth. If it weren't for chasing Moonlight Chinchin, the two of Minato would really not have to go to the country of grass. Kushina, don't say that. Fugaku and I went to the country of grass voluntarily, but we didn't expect to meet Jinchuriki from Iwagakure village. Speaking of Jinchuriki, Minato looked at Kushina with eyes full of pity. Kushina was immediately numbed by his gaze, and her face turned red like an eggplant for a moment. Okay, you two can rest peacefully. I still have to report to the ninja school. This is the first graduation examination of the ninja school reform. Mr. Third Generation attaches great importance to it. Yugong Chinchin took out a banana from the fruit basket, peeled it open and handed it to Fugaku beside him. Then he ate it in one bite under Fugaku's somewhat surprised gaze. You obviously want to eat it yourself, why do you have to put it in front of me? Fugaku feels that Moonlight Chinchin is really his natural nemesis, it's so annoying. Moonlight Chinchin, who was eating a banana, glanced at Fugaku in surprise and explained casually. I just feel my arm is numb. I want to stretch it. Why do you think I want to give you something to eat? Fugaku, don't think like this. Look, Makoto is still here. If you want to feed him, she should do it. Well, this time, one more person was blushing. Makoto blushed and immediately took out a banana and put it to Fugaku's mouth. Fugaku glared at Gecko Chizun fiercely, and then looked at Makoto very gently. Tisk, 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 you four, you can't stand it anymore, I'm leaving. I can't stand the sour smell of love. One sentence earned 4 pairs of eyes, and the moonlight jumped out of the window. When he left, Minato and Fugaku looked at each other, and then they both smiled. This fool said he bought the fruit basket for us, and he really enjoyed it. Okay, let's recover well. Is this the first test of the ninja school reform? I really want to see it. On the roof of the ninja school, Yugong Chinchin was squatting by the wall and looking at the playground below. 2 classes are training. One of the classes was training physical skills, and the teacher, Teacher Chen. Hitoki Sakumo is really capable, he actually brought out such a giant Buddha. Konoha Dragon God, tisk, God knows if this Metkai learns how to use Konoha Dragon God to open 8 gates, who can block it? In the sight of Moonlight Chinchin, a group of students led by Metkai were launching an attack on Chen Baojun. But the latter avoided everyone's attacks with an extremely silky posture, and whipped the students with the cane in his hand, instructing them on irregular movements and physical skills. On the other side, people were practicing ninjutsu. To Gecko Chizun's surprise, the teachers who were teaching were actually Hitoki Sakumo and Hagura. The most important thing is that Hagura is currently instructing the students ninjutsu, while Hitoki Sakumo is standing aside and watching with a smile. What's going on? Why did Hitoki Sakumo let Hagura enter the school as a teacher? Her identity. Are you curious why she can teach here? Suddenly a familiar voice sounded in Yugong Chinchin's ears. Hearing this voice, Yugong Chinchin's pupils shrank, but he soon felt relieved and joked without looking back. You, the principal, Actually use shadow clone to teach. It's too much. I saw that the person coming was none other than Hitaki Tsukumo. And what Moonlight Senzen said is true, the Hitaki Tsukumo below is shadow clone. Ha ha ha, what's wrong with shadow clone? Isn't that what ninjutsu is for? Why else should we imitate him? Hitaki Tsukumo walked slowly to Gekko Chizun. Yakura's ninjutsu talent is very good, and she is very suitable for teaching. Because you were away, the management rights of Yikang were temporarily placed in my name. I have to manage the school again, so I simply brought her to work in the school. After she heard the news, she accepted it very happily. Well, you see she is very happy when she is teaching the children, isn't she? Yugong Qinshan was silent, because he saw it clearly, and Yikang's slightly raised corners of his mouth and serious teaching expression could not be fake. But her identity, what happened to her identity? She is no longer a ninja in Sunagakur village. Ever since she was captured by you, the road to Sunagakur village has been cut off. Can it really be that simple? Of course it's not that simple, but she still has your 5 elements seal on her, doesn't she? With that seal in place, she is just an ordinary ninja, an ordinary jonin at best. Konoha still has a lot of combat power at this level. Yugong Qinshan nodded. There is no doubt about this. Interfered by the 5 elements seal, Yikang has been unable to mobilize chakra for proportional distribution and use Scorch style. Without the big killer Scorch style, there are indeed many in Konoha with her kind of combat power. But, Tsukumo-sama, she is a ninja of Sunagakur village after all, and this cannot be changed. She was captured by you before she even went on the battlefield, right? Her hands were not stained with the blood of Konoha ninjas. Yugong Qinshan was slightly startled. At this period, Yikang was just an adult and had indeed not been on the battlefield yet. Her title of Scorch-style Hagura will also be used in the future Third Ninja War, and she is indeed still a little-known newcomer. I specifically investigated later and found that Yikang has always been used as a trump card. Even if he went on a mission, he was not exposed to other ninja villages. You think, when I first met Yikang, even I didn't know her details, how could anyone else know about her? This guy Haneda Zeman has been hiding it in order to become a big killer in the war. It's a pity, ha ha ha, that you kid directly ruined his plan. Qinshan, do you know how Konoha village was built? The sudden change of question made Yugong Qinshan frown. Although he was confused, he still answered truthfully. The Senju clan united with the Uchiha clan to establish Konoha village, and subsequently united many ninja families. Hitaki Tsukumo nodded. The Hitaki family and the Moonlight family are among them. The combination of various families has made the village what it is now. Moonlight Qinshan still didn't understand what Hitaki Tsukumo wanted to say. Looking at Moonlight Qinshan who frowned, Hitaki Tsukumo looked up at the sky. Actually, it's not like Konoha doesn't have ninjas from other villages joining. Does Uzumaki Kushina know? She turned out to be Genin from Uzumaki village, didn't she also join Konoha? Usugwan Qinshan nodded. He still knew this, after all, he and Kushina were in the same class. Kushina is a transfer student. Qinshan, if you want her to completely join Konoha and get rid of Sunagakur village, there is only one way at the moment. Joining Konoha's family will completely let her abandon the past. Yugong Qinshan's eyes widened and he looked at the white-haired man in front of him with disbelief. I have obtained her consent for this. After a period of observation, if there is no problem, I will apply to Lord Hokage to let Yikang join the Hitaki family, become my adopted son, and completely become a member of the Leaf Village. Gekko Chizun. Wait, join the Hitaki family. Why not the Gekko family? Hitaki Tsukumo. Boy, guess. Moonlight Qinshan. Old fool, you plotted against me, you want to be my father. Moonlight Qinshan stared at Hitaki Tsukumo fiercely, and the latter laughed. Are you really Hitaki Tsukumo? The famous Konoha White Fang? Why haven't I noticed that you are such a bad person? Return to senior, Haitui. Yikang was brought back by me, so he should join my Moonlight family. Konoha White Fang. He must have planned it a long time ago. He actually came to steal people from him. Facing the roar of the Moonlight Thousand Mountains, Hitaki Tsukumo shrugged his shoulders casually. Join your Moonlight family. Do you think the Hitaki family with me is more convincing, or you, the little fool? Although your boy has achieved certain achievements now, Compared with me, you are still far behind. With my blessing, she can successfully join Konoha. If I give you another 10 years, maybe you can, but you can't do it now. Although I know this is the case, Yugong Chinshin is still very unhappy. Just in case. He Moonlight Chinshin wants to pursue Yi Kang, but Yi Kang is Hatake Tsukumo's adopted son. Then doesn't he really have to call Hatake Tsukumo daddy from now on? When I think of this sinister middle-aged man who spent 1,000 years to kill him and become his father-in-law, Yugong Chinshin feels like there is darkness ahead of him. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. I tell you, even then, we will still have our own opinions. You don't want me to call you daddy. Hatake Tsukumo's eyes widened, his face filled with questions, as he watched Moonlight Chinshin leaping down from the roof of the building. But he, Hatake Tsukumo, understood the meaning of Moonlight Chinshin's words after a short period of thinking. Can't help but laugh. Ha ha ha, little fool. I wouldn't have thought of it if you didn't tell me. Not bad. This route is very good. Ha 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 ha, I have to hear you call me daddy. Yugong Chinshin, who jumped off the roof of the building, directly activated his escape and sneaked to the back of Yi Kang's class. Even if Hatake Tsukumo's shadow clone is here, he doesn't care. This old fool is so annoying, if it weren't for the fact that he hasn't mastered the 1,000-year killing yet. He must kill the clone in front of him with one kill. However, when he saw Yi Kang teaching the students how to form seals, his eyes were instantly attracted. Although he has been in Konoha for so long, Yi Kang's dressing style is still the same as before. This back, looks really good. The seal must be accurate, and we should seek stability rather than speed. Once the wrong printing is done, the ninjutsu will lose its guidance. It is a big taboo for the Chunin technique to fail in battle. So, do 12 seals 3 times. Yi Kang is in charge of the ninjutsu basic course. As for why he came outside to attend the class, it was entirely because Yi Kang didn't like the teacher very much, which reminded her of her past. She was also a student at that time, and because of the existence of scorch style, she was the focus of attention even in school. Her teachings are conducted by specialized jonin. She was the only one in the huge classroom, day after day, year after year. The claustrophobic environment was still fresh in her mind, so she hated the classroom. Yi Kang shook his head to get rid of the unbearable memories in his mind, and continued to watch the students in front of him practicing the seals. Asuma, practice well. Your seal is not done properly. Asuma. Moonlight Chinshin heard this and looked. It's really Asuma, the official of Konoha Village's second generation, Sarutobi Hiruzen's son. But Asuma looks really childish at this stage. I can do 12 seals and so on. Can you teach me ninjutsu? I want to learn ninjutsu. It has to be said that Asuma was also a prickly student during this period. No, if you can't learn the basics, you don't need to learn ninjutsu. Asuma, 12 seals, you do 5 more times. Yi Kang is very serious as a teacher, he is obviously only 18 years old. Additional setting, Yi Kang is 3 years older than the protagonist. I won't do it, can you? Ouch. Asuma is very rebellious. He doesn't even obey his own father, so how can he obey the seemingly insignificant female teacher in front of him? He immediately refused and wanted to ridicule him. But before he finished speaking, he felt someone tripped him and fell down. The originally harmonious teaching time was directly broken by his scream. Yi Kang frowned slightly, feeling a little confused about Asuma's sudden fall. But the next second, she heard a familiar voice. Asuma, men must respect women. I remember I told you this. A master is a teacher. Respect the teacher and respect the teachings. You haven't learned enough yet. The sudden sound and the gradually revealed figure made all the students scatter around in shock. But when they saw that the person coming was Yugong Chinshin, everyone returned to their original positions and shouted very happily. Teacher Chinshin, you are back. Yi Kang looked at that familiar figure, the corners of his mouth raised slightly. I thought to myself, this fool is doing all sorts of things with his Tuyu, but why does it feel so good to see Asuma deflated? Ouch, Teacher Chinshin, don't kick. Isn't it true that I was wrong? Yugong Chinshin smiled as he watched Asuma rolling and running. Then he said fiercely, If you are causing trouble in class and don't listen to the teacher, I will go to your father to complain. If he doesn't care, I'll take all his pipes away. Make him beat you. Look whether he wants the pipe or you. Asuma's face suddenly drooped. He still knew his father's temper. If this lets him know that he is causing trouble in class, he will have to be torn down. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, who studied under second Hokage, is a person who respects his master very much. The most despised person who disrespects the teacher is undoubtedly stepping on landmines and jumping to death. Okay, let's continue with class. I'll go check out the other side. Gekko Chizun winked at Hitaki Sakura, and at the same time glared at Hitaki Sakumo's clone fiercely again. Then he walked towards the taijutsu class, preparing to take a look at the lessons of Mr. Chen, the strongest taijutsu person in Konoha. Yi Kang looked at Yugong Chinchin's back and showed a smile. This smile directly made the class she led excited. Wow, Teacher Yi Kang smiled so brightly. This is 8 trigrams. The huge 8 trigrams. Hearing this, Yi Kang quickly put away his smile and pretended to be calm and shouted. Have you finished all the exercises? Everyone does it 5 times. Immediately. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.